Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
As many layers as they can possibly get here going on. So we start in the sweat, in with the chill here as well tonight. But a good football team coming in, and make no mistake, the Cadets, a very good football team. I thought last week you were talking with Danny Britt earlier this week, kind of did what you had to do, and you got up and you kind of felt, and coaching staffs I'm sure feel this a little bit, you kind of felt, all right, we got you 2 scores.
Yeah.
You're not scoring on our defense. You scored on a kind of a tip ball situation on a deep pass, and that was really anything that resembled a threat to score. You kind of knew you had them there. Let's run our offense, play field position. They won't score on us. And then again, to get the ball back and take the last 6.5 minutes off the game clock and essentially take a knee to move to the next round. You really felt like, especially second half, they made the adjustments, and you never felt like that one was going to slip away from them.
No, and again, you said it last week for BC. The one touchdown you gave up was probably should have been interception. You had 2 guys there, tips off of their hands and into a receiver's hands in the end zone. Outside of that, you shut down Cass for 4 quarters last week, and the defensive line was really disruptive. You mentioned 4 interceptions from the secondary last week, just explosive defensively. So you didn't really have to get outside of your comfort zone on offense, could play conservative, just keep them at arm's distance. But tonight, against a really, really talented Central football team, we said a ton of defense or D1 players all over the field for both teams tonight. You're not going to be able to sit back and just try to run the football and expect to pick up 5-6 yards at a time and just be completely silent through the air. You're going to have to be balanced tonight. You're going to have to be able to attack through the air as well as on the ground. And this team, against Central coming in tonight, 12-0, you don't do that on accident, and they're coming in here fully expecting to dominate.
And tonight it could be luck of the Irish. Notre Dame commit Bubba Frazier. Central of Carrollton's got Jonas Walton, senior running back, also committed to Notre Dame. So you got 2 Fighting Irish commits, big-time players, and both teams really want to get them to football and say, hey, big-time players make big-time plays in a big-time spot. One wears number 5 for Central, one wears number 4 for Benedictine, and it's going to be kind of who makes that play early for either one of those guys, I believe.
Yeah, when we're looking at the analytics later, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a large portion here in Savannah, a large portion over in Carrollton, and then why is it in Indiana all of a sudden there's a big bloom popping up? Yeah, you got 2 Notre Dame commits on the field tonight. I don't know how often you see that in the state of Georgia, but really excited to watch that one. And I think 2 guys, Kevin, that you don't necessarily build your team around Bubba Frazier if you're BC, but he's the guy on the football field. And for Central, their offense absolutely circles around number 5, and he's a guy who had over 150 yards rushing last week, I believe 91 yards receiving. He is the focal point of that offense, and so to slow them down, you're going to have to slow him down, and I don't think anybody's been able to figure that out through 12 weeks.
Yeah, they're a team that's used to scoring points. That puts a lot of pressure on Galen Houston and that Benedictine defense tonight, and Christian, some news earlier. We're not going to have Jonathan Black tonight at one of the corner spots, but the front seven for BC has been really, really good, and we've talked about it all season long. You haven't been able to run at them.
Yeah.
It's very tough to run around them. What is Carrollton going to do to try to establish that running game, and how does BC kind of counter that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's strength versus strength. Carrollton wants to come out, run the football, and they, like I said, they've got the talent to do it. It's not just 5. They've got a bunch of guys that know how to run the rock, and it's strength against strength because BC, you center that's kind of spearhead of the defense is Cam Cody, number 55, committed to Clemson. On the outside, you'll have LaDamian Guyton, the number 1 outside linebacker in the country for this coming cycle, and he's committed to Texas Tech. So it's strength versus strength. It's big-time Division I football against big-time Division I football. And if you're BC, I think you do what you've done all year. You try to dominate at the point of attack and let those really talented linebackers and Larson Little and Jane Houston kind of flow there and make the tackles. And I'm curious because you mentioned Jonathan Black, how BC approaches tonight, because they like to keep 2 safeties over the top. I feel like losing your starting corner, and you feel very confident in Amari Burson if you have to put an Aaron Mallard or Bubba Frazier at that other corner spot, but does losing your guy make you a little bit more hesitant to stick that extra safety in the box to stop the run, or do you just come out committed and say, hey, if they're going to beat us on the outside, they're going to beat us on the outside. We can't let this dude get going.
If I know BC is, hey, we're going to run our system and make plays and fly to the football. But, again, that front seven and Gavin Smith, Jameer Lee tonight, we were talking about this before the game. Don't know that Carrollton has seen a front seven, specifically a front 4 or 5 that they're going to see tonight from BC, and we'll see if they can establish that. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually go out there and impose your presence there right out the gate.
Yeah, and I think for BC, not the first time you've seen a high-level running back this year. You start the season against Colquitt with Jay Lamar, the Georgia commit. I believe he's the top-rated, if not top 5-rated running back in the state of Georgia. Like we said, committed to Georgia, and you really gave him his worst game of the season. So not unfamiliar with facing a really talented offensive line and a really star-studded backfield, but probably their biggest challenge since then. But we've talked about this a ton. BC's front 4 has been the most consistent group all year. You and I were sitting in the press box back in September when BC went down to Camden for the scrimmage to start the year, and offense went out there. It's a scrimmage. It's a little bit clunky. Everybody's kind of, I don't want to say going through the motions, but it's not full speed. Then you look, BC puts their defense out there, and those 4 guys on the defensive line were leaning forward, aggressive, and they played violent from the first snap. And I think that's something that has carried throughout the entire season. Danny Britt talked about it on the show on Thursday. They're violent, and I think that's the word we keep using over and over again. They're going to smack you in the mouth. There's a clip going around last week of Guyton coming in and hitting a guy and paint flying off of the helmet. So probably going to have to get these fancy white ones refurbished at the end of the year. But it's a really, really talented rushing attack for Central versus the strength of Benedictine's team, and that's what you're going to get during these rounds of the playoffs.
This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Kevin Thomas and Christian Gokel. We're trying to warm it up here before the game tonight, and we are glad to be here again. Barnes celebrating 50 years of service in Savannah. Check out those 50-year anniversary specials. 50 pieces of chicken, $50, 50 tenders, $50, 5 pounds of barbecue, $50, and nothing better to set up your next tailgate. And I know we've had a lot of football today. We got football tonight, football tomorrow, football on Sunday. It's a kind of the big glorious end of the regular season for the most part of college football before you get into conference championship games. And so Barnes Barbecue, Barnes Restaurant, where you need to go and set up your tailgate with them, or just stop by and go in and have some food right there.
Or both.
Yeah, we're coming right back as we count you down here to kick off on Watch BC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the conditions, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash in Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Kevin Thomas, Christian Gokel here with you, counting you down to kickoff. We'll have the audio coverage for you as we get deeper into playoffs. They control some of those things a little tighter on us as well. But again, counting you down to kickoff. Christian, we talked about the BC defense. Let's look at the BC offense. I think as the season has gone on, and you've talked about this with Danny Britt, they've kind of slowly changed things in the offense a little bit. You've taken the reins. I don't say taking the reins. It's just that was part of the plan all along. The later you go, you add elements to the offense, and something we've seen certainly late in the year and the 2 weeks of the playoffs at this point is Stanley Smart. We knew that. Who's going to touch the ball in the perimeter? We knew that. The run game of Stephen Cannon has become a little bit more of a focal point, and you and I have talked about that. You can cover. You might be able to have a guy that can cover Bubba Frazier. You might be able to have a guy that can cover Mallard. Maybe you have a third guy that can cover Josh Washington. Maybe you have a guy that can cover Stanley Smart coming out of the backfield.
Right.
Oh, and now you got to account for Tin, who's got a, no pun intended, cannon for an arm, and he can run the football and really BC's opponents to kind of figure out what A.J. DePhillips is going to do. And it's just brought it to me, that added element of who you're going to stop and what poison are you picking this play to try to focus on.
Yeah, and what's been fascinating to me this playoff run has been the first two rounds you're heavily favored. I think Maxwell had it by 30-plus points, both games there, the first and second round. But you were playing teams that felt overmatched on their back end when they're trying to match up with your receivers and your running back. And so it's like, hey, do they come in and they try to send 5-6 guys every single time and get to the quarterback? Well, through the first two rounds, they've dropped 6 or 7 guys every single play, sometimes 8 guys, and just try to keep everything in front of them and made BC methodically move their way down the field. I understand fans want the long touchdowns over the top. If a team's playing 4 guys deep over the top, it becomes almost impossible to do it. Then you just take what the defense gives you. Like we said last week, BC just worked their way for 21 points, and we're never within 14 after that. And then the first round of the playoffs, so 7-7 at halftime, the game ended up 42-7. So it's frustrating to watch sometimes because it's methodical and it's 5-6 yards at a time, but it's gotten you to 2-0 in the playoffs so far, 9-0 run. Line up and match up, try to stop Stanley Smart from running. So when that happens, can you hit those shots downfield? And the thing I would be worried about if I was the Cadets and A.J. DePhillips calling plays is you just haven't seen that mid-level passing game the last 3 or 4 weeks. Is it going to be there when you need it to be there? Something obviously you work on in practice, but talking to him and Danny Britt, what they were talking up to Stephen Cannon about this week, all week, just let it rip. You don't have to be perfect, but we need you going out there and playing full send from the first snap.
We're going to step aside for the national anthem. We'll come right back. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show here on Watch BC Sports.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at JVD Attorney.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBCSports.
Welcome back here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Had to step aside. They got the PA
coming in hot.
Cranked up here at Memorial Stadium tonight. But again, Christian, you got a team that has not lost tonight coming in, and they have, I think, scored over 40 in all, but maybe 2 or 3 of their contests tonight. Their closest game, I think, was a 2-point win early third, early quarter of the football season. So this is a team that hasn't really played in a tight spot in quite some time.
Yeah, and Kevin, it's a team, like you said, averaging, I believe, 49 points a game and giving up 15 points a game. But say this for what you will. Obviously, this is the BC broadcast, so we're going to sound like homers no matter what we do. Todd Holcomb does a wonderful job with the AJC. Benedictine, as they get to turn the lights out, get ready for this broadcast, Benedictine has come out and played the second toughest schedule in 4A. I would be very, very curious who the first team is in that one, because I know a lot of teams have played Colquitt and Buford back-to-back and then played Ware County, Perry during their run to the playoffs, but they played the second toughest, averaged over 40 points a game, gave up less than 15 points a game. Central, like we said, averaged over 40 points a game, gave up 15 points a game, not in the top 40 in terms of strength of schedule coming in here. You can only beat the teams that are on your schedule, and you can't, it doesn't make up for it. Like when they have a down season, you can't take that out on the team who went in there and beat them, but still, when you look at the journeys here, I look at the brutal schedule that BC played at the beginning of the season that's prepared them for moments like this, and I put that a check mark in the advantage book for the Cadets. Yeah, so we'll see if they can establish something early. Again, another home game tonight. Coin flip already happened earlier in the week before Thanksgiving, so if the Cadets should win this football game, Christian, they will be at home again for the semifinals, and just based on brackets and the way it would be, they would play the winner of tonight's Marist versus North Oconee, and a lot of BC fans familiar with both of those teams who have made the trip down here to Memorial Stadium and just played some hellacious football games between those two teams. And again, anytime you play a Marist, you know you're going to get a good football program. Just was looking at it, Danny Britt talked about making the playoffs since he's been here at BC, and that they've made it 14 years in a row. They put out a thing. Marist has made the playoffs 46 years in a row. So is that good?
that's pretty good. So they have the longest active streak of consecutively making the playoffs. So you might have to see Marist, North Oconee, who I think North Oconee has not lost yet here in 2025 either. So that'll be a good one on that side of the bracket. And as everybody says, you get to the Elite Eight, they're all good. Here at this point. So a good one tonight. Similar color scheme tonight. I think North Oconee. Central is going to wear a maroon helmet with white and gray, light gray maroon. So kind of close to it as well.
They understand fashion.
BC is going to wear the Mississippi State look tonight with the white helmet, maroon, and the white helmet or the white pants tonight. So that's kind of the uniform matchup tonight, if you will. But again, Christian, let's just play a hypothetical while we got some time here in the Barnes pregame show. if you win the coin toss, I feel like it's an either or. You put your defense out first, or you want Stephen Cannon the offense out there?
It's just whatever side you feel like has performed better. And after last week, I mean, that defense was unbelievable. You want to put your best foot forward, and then if you defer and you get the ball in the second half, you got a chance to dominate those middle 8 minutes of the football game. So I'm always put the defense out there first, but I think Danny Brados consistently just said, hey, we're going to put our best foot forward, and it's not a diss to the offense to say that the defense is that right now.
Yeah, they're playing really, really well. Also, special teams, always a factor when you get farther into playoffs. We've had some issues kicking field goals. I kind of sensed a little bit of what do we do when you talked with Danny Britt earlier in the week in terms of are we just going to directional kick? Are we going to try to get it to the end zone? It's been a challenge all season long as you're breaking in two kids who have never kicked before, and you kind of expected some of those challenges. So we'll see how that plays a factor tonight.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of settled on that directional kick. At least you know where you're going if you're the guys going to cover. Certainly don't want to kick it down the middle of the field, but if to kind of watch Brenton during the warm-ups, and if he's getting into the end zone, sure, go for it. But as of right now, it's going to be about the 5 or 10 yard line, but just make sure it's towards the sideline. And even if it teeters out of bounds, giving the ball up at the 35 is not the worst thing in the world. What I'm curious about tonight, Kevin, is if BC stalls out inside the 20. Parker Lewis has been really solid for you all year. Been money on extra points, and he's hit some long field goals. He struggled as of late on some short field goals. How the game's going will probably dictate it, but do you just say, hey, we're 4-down territory?
Again, I think that'll be like an in-the-moment thing, just kind of how you're feeling if you're the BC coaches there as well. So, again, quarterfinal round, chance to move on to the semifinals. And, again, this senior class were freshmen the last time BC won a state championship, so they're trying to rewrite the legacy a little bit as well as they work through this postseason. Got to this round last year before they were eliminated by Blessed Trinity, so a chance to go further than last year. Year before that, obviously lost in the semifinals on the road up at Stockbridge. Yep. So this team has been in some games. Obviously, they want to write one more chapter. As I've said every week in the playoffs, you get one more to get one more. And that's what they got in front of them tonight.
Yeah, we spoke about this during the Ware County game. That's when Stephen Cannon went out in 2024, goes down against Ware County here at Memorial Stadium, about how big it was to get that rematch this past what was it, October, when you go over to Waycross and you beat Ware County at their place. Now you're coming back. You're at the stage where your season kind of flamed out. And if you remember back, Kevin, this time last year, Stephen Cannon, we got the word he's going to give it a go. And it had been Amari Burst leading the way since the middle of the season all the way through the playoff run. And give credit to Blessed Trinity. They were a really, really good football team last year. I believe went on to make it to the state championship and lost. But it's a kind of seminal moment where you're like, okay, this was the stage where things kind of flamed out last year. Now you come in, quarterbacks at full strength. You've got Bubba Frazier back. Stanley Smart has exploded into a really stud kind of running back. Got to take that next step.
Yeah, certainly, and it will happen hopefully tonight against a really good Central Carrollton Lions team who have made the trip from Carrollton over in West Georgia down to Savannah tonight. And Christian, just something that probably wouldn't have happened if this was a normal school week. You said Central was here yesterday and kind of spent the night and have been here kind of resting up, ready to go for this one today.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. I mean, so many times we see teams who have to ride the bus all day, get off the bus, kind of sit in the locker room, stretch it out a little bit, and then come on the field and play football. You just get dead legs. It's really tired. The fact that they were able to get here a day early and have rested legs. I know you're not sleeping at home, but you're also not sitting on a bus all day. That's a really big deal. And they were about as far away from BC going left as you can get. So I think a smart move. And obviously it just comes down to, do you have the money to spend? But, hey, they got it.
And they will be and actually we're trying to get a little pregame.
I mean, it's become tradition. We got
our pregame ritual. He's got to come over here to do it.
Savannah's finest. Savannah. He protects everybody else from AJ to Phillips.
That's right. We are counting you down towards kickoff. We're awaiting the captains who have just come out of the locker room, so we'll come back. We'll have the audio call for you when we return round 3 tonight. And this is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show on Watch BC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we get you ready for the kickoff tonight. Stephen Cannon, Josh Washington, Cam Cody, Bubba Frazier, Jaden Houston, and Larson Little, your captains tonight for the Cadets. And here's the coin toss. Well, they're talking to Central Carrollton. I believe they won it. They did. They are going to defer to the second half, so that BC offense will be on the field first. Christian Gokel is, again, Cadets decked out in that best referred to, if you know what I'm talking about, that Mississippi State look. They got the white helmet with the maroon stripe down the middle, maroon tops, white letters and numbers, white pants with a maroon stripe. Central Carrollton wearing gray pants, white tops, maroon numbers, and a maroon helmet tonight as well. So it will be the Cadets on offense and the Lions putting that defense up against Benedictine to start things off.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it. Key for the game for BC offensively, just let it rip. I mean, you can't play afraid to make a mistake tonight. I think it's the best way to put it. And BC, the defense just played so well. You're like, hey, just keep the ball out of harm's way. Let the defense make some plays. We'll put up enough points to win. Tonight, you are going to have to attack, and you're going to have to score points. I think it's a great thing. You get the ball early, just get the jitters out of the way, and let it rip.
Waiting on the Cadets and Lions to enter the field, and we will be ready to go here in this one. Again, Cadet football presented all season long by Cash and Carry. Couldn't do it without those guys. And while we're waiting, Christian, want to send out a big thumbs up to the fans who were out here early, day after Thanksgiving. And as per usual, the Cadet faithful won the tailgate over there. It was televisions and fire pits and food tables and you name it. It was happening over there in the tailgate, getting ready for tonight's football game.
Oh, my goodness.
Special shout out to Mr. Washington.
Oh, man. Herbert Washington.
He took
Josh Washington's father.
He took care of us on the tailgate, so we appreciate that.
The ribs were particularly nice. And Carl Smith of the BCAA, huge TV out there, watching the dogs survive the Jackets. Hopefully this game a little bit more entertaining.
It will be the Cadets. They will go left to right. They will be working out of the north end zone. So if you're familiar with Memorial Stadium, that is the open end zone. And they will be working towards the Fieldhouse end, which is the south end, the closed in portion of Memorial Stadium here as the third round, the Elite Eight, Christian Gokel. And again, you take pride in these games because ain't a whole lot of folks playing tonight that sure would love to be around the state. Aaron Mallard and Josh Washington back deep for Benedictine. The Lions will send their kicker, Jake Davis, a junior, to get us started here in round 3. The right-footed kicker will put it over kind of towards the left hash. Let's see if they dare kick it deep. Davis will drive it up the left hash, and it'll come down to Mallard at the 5-yard line. Across the 10, up the left side, comes here to the 20, 25, 30, and he leans across. And he was a shoestring away from busting that to the next level. And that's where the Cadets will take over 1st and 10 from their own 31. And again, Christian, something to look at early. Colin Ward going to be sliding down to center tonight as Reef Leonard going to be out. So we'll keep an eye on that offensive line mix around, if you will, as they get started here early.
Yeah, that happened midway through the game against Cass, and I thought BC's offensive line came out in a really tough situation, played well. See how a full week of being being the center.
A three-man front here for the Lions. Snap to Cannon out of a shotgun. He'll give to Stanley Smart, who cuts back inside, makes a man miss at the 40. Runs a man over, lowers the boom at the 43, and that'll be enough for 12 yards and a first down. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Yeah, you pull the backside guard right there. We just talked about the offensive line. Best way to get those guys kind of into the football game, get rid of the jitters, pull the guard, let them go hit somebody. That's exactly what BC did. Great running by Stanley, too.
Cadets will go hurry up back to the flex bone. They'll give it end around. This is Josh Washington, near side, inside of 50. There he goes on the right sideline. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Drug out of bounds and a flag at the end of the play. Tackled him up around the helmet. So tack it on to the end of that run. It'll be first and goal for BC. 11:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you get just the simple buck sweep from BC. Give it all the handoff to Josh Washington, and man, once he gets to the open field, he's tough to tackle. Credit Central for tracking him down inside the 5, but like you said, tag the end of the play. You had him grab Josh Washington by the end of the helmet to tackle him, so this one should be about the 2-yard line.
A personal foul on Central, and it'll be first down. Yeah, they're going to put it on the 2.5.
Power football to start the game for the Cadets, man.
Here's one where you just keep it in number 10's hands and go straight ahead maybe. 2 receivers to the short side. They'll motion a tight end over to that short side. Cannon with the snap. He'll keep it himself off the right side. Steven Cannon reaches across. Touchdown. Took a dive and threw the ball over the goal line. And the Cadets on the board in less than a minute. 35 seconds to be exact. Christian Gokel, they're up 6-0.
Yeah, 35 seconds, and it was all on the ground. BC just right in your face. And Steven Cannon, when he can run the football like that, gives you 10 blockers to fight the 11 defenders. It's just always so huge in the red zone. And, man, that's exactly what you needed if you were the Cadets.
The point after on the way. It's up and good by Parker Lewis. 7-0 our score. Cadets lead it. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, it didn't take long. Cadets up 7-0 on a Steven Cannon 2.5-yard run. And they will kick it off to Central, left to right, John Brenton. Let's see if they directional kick like they talked about. Brenton slowly forward. He'll pop it up the right side. It's going to come down about the 12-yard line and running all the way back across the field, trying to turn the corner. And he'll get out to the 22-yard line as Cannon Jones before the Cadets wrestle him out of bounds over there. 1st and 10 for Carrollton or Central and the Lions. Obviously, Jonas Walton, the running back, headed to Notre Dame, somebody the Cadets are going to focus on here early.
Yeah, and he's a guy who is unbelievable. Obviously, you don't get offered a scholarship to Notre Dame at running back if you're not one of the best players in the nation, and he has been a stud for this team all season. He's the focal point of the offense, and BC's got their hands full tonight.
They'll have him split out wide, 4 wide receivers. This screams tunnel screen to number 5. He is the back of that diamond, and the quarterback, J.R. Harris, in a shotgun. Here's the snap. That's exactly what they do. A little tunnel screen out there to Walton. And nice tackle made by Amari Burse after a gain of only 3 or 4, fighting off blockers. And to bring up second down.
Yeah, and they're just counting. And BC had 2 guys out there on 3 blockers, but it was a huge job. And Sorry, we got people thinking that we're the officials. But a good job by BC cutting under, and Wyatt Esserbrook coming up and laying the lumber.
Central goes to a pistol look here with Walton tail of that pistol. Twin receivers either side. Cadets showing blitz. And now's a snap. And thrown in the slot. Intercepted! What a pick! I thought they just knocked it down. That was Makai Williams jumping the route and picking off Harris, looking for Avery Tanner. And the Cadets are in big-time position at the 30-yard line. What a pick by Makai Williams.
Yeah, and he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. That looked like an RPO. Quarterback pulled it out of the running back's gut, threw a slant, but just too hot and right into the stomach of Makai Williams. BC with the chance to blow this one up early.
It was all on the ground, as you said, in drive number 1, Christian. And they'll put trips up top for Stephen Cannon. A tight end here to the near side. 4-man front for the Lions. And here's the snap to Stephen. I'll bobbled it a little bit. Going to give it to Stanley Smart. Stanley inside the 30, down to about the 27. Give him 3 on first down. And some extracurricular after the play, but everybody gets away from it.
Yeah, BC fortunate to avoid disaster, and the fans are kind of losing their mind right now on the home side, Kevin. Because if you look at the scoreboard, it's 7-0 Central. Should be 7-0 BC.
So the Cadets will go into the flex bone here as well. And they'll run it on a toss sweep here to the near side. And here is Aaron Mallard. He's going to break towards the end zone, but a shoestring tackle at the 13 on a cutback will give the Cadets a first down. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
Yeah, great job by Aaron stretching that one out, but a really good job by the left side of that offensive line, sealing the edge, and BC in business.
So Cadets quickly up on it. It's 1st and 10. They can get a first down at the 3. And here's the snap. Cannon going to give it to Smart. Oh, they'll run the reverse. Here comes Mallard the other way, and he'll turn the corner. Touchdown, what a block. Stephen Cannon at the 2, and Aaron cut it back in off his hip, and there's a touchdown. Just over 2 minutes into the game, and the Cadets lead at 13-0.
Hey, Kevin, who has the lead block to get your guy in the end zone? Your quarterback, Stephen Cannon, blowing up a DB and leading the way in for Aaron Mallard. And we didn't see a lot of him last week, but, man, number 13 has been big early, and the Cadets take a 2-score lead just 2 minutes into the football game.
And nary a pass has been attempted by the Cadets at this point. The kick is up by Parker Lewis, and it is good. 14-0. 9:57 still to go here in the first quarter. This is Cadet football, presented by Cash and Carry.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Everybody's screaming at us, Christian.
Oh.
All the fans are losing their mind. Hey, I'm pretty sure we all know what the score is. It's just wrong on the scoreboard.
We got it here if they need it. We got the score here if they need it.
It is 14-0.
And I know somebody who's got a Savannah squad car ready to go.
So here is John Britton to kick it off here for the Cadets. Left to right, he'll put his foot into it, and up the right side, a little shorter this time, going to come down about the 14-yard line. Right back up the middle, a nice open tackle made at the 21. Stewart Dunn. Nicely done by that young man, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Central.
You get one of those a game.
Sorry.
All right, so razor's edge right here if you're Central, and you got to feel confident. I mean, there's plenty of time left in the football game. You're only 2 minutes in, but you cannot afford a 3-and-out here, and you certainly cannot afford another turnover. You got to put something together, give your defense a break and a chance to just do some kind of coaching and adjustments on the sideline.
So 1st and 10, Lions come out in a pistol. Here's the snap. Harris, he'll give it to Walton straight ahead, and the Cadets going to body him up at about the 25-yard line, give him a gain of 3 on first down. And if you're BC right now, you'll let them do that here early in this ball game.
And that's what you got to do if you're BC up front. Good job by Jameer Lee and Cam Cody just setting up inside and not being moved. You don't have to fly upfield and create creases. Just create a pile and let their linebackers get there.
So Walton, the Notre Dame commit, at the tail of the pistol once again. BC shuffling around on the defensive line. They'll try to get Walton around the edge. You got a block there. First down by Walton across the 35 out towards the 40. And that'll be a first down for the Lions. And you saw the speed once he got the corner turn.
Yeah, this goes stretch zone right there. And a good job by the right tackle doing enough against Jameer Lee to get him blocked. And like you said, once he gets on the edge, Walton's quick.
You saw a little late shift by BC. They kind of thought it was going that way. You saw Lee and a couple D linemen shift that way. But here's the snap. They'll give Walton straight ahead, and he runs right into the midst of Cam Cody. He'll lean ahead for about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And I think Central's thinking about those plays. You don't scout this team and say, hey, we're going to run right at Cam Cody. But I think Central's looking at that as body blows. You got to keep trying to run the football between the tackles just because it sets up the pass and the run on the edge so well.
And so now Jonas Walton will go out into the slot. His brother, GHSA Walton, he will be in at running back. And he's at the tail of the pistol. They'll put other Walton in motion. They'll give it to GHSA Walton.
Jameer Lee.
Jameer Lee just grabbed him immediately, maybe a half yard on the carry. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, again, not falling for the trickeration. They try to formation you a little bit, but BC just completely keyed in on stopping the run. And you wonder if Central's a little bit gun shy right now because the last time he threw it, the only time he threw it, was an interception.
So 3rd down and 7 out at the Lions 43-yard line.
Yeah, obvious passing situations, not where these guys want to live.
Out of the pistol. Here's the snap. Robbins, look, he's going to be flushed. Looking and throws it away to nobody.
He's outside the tackle box, but I don't think that ball made it back to the line of scrimmage.
They haven't thrown a flag. The lead official's asking. Either way, Cadets would decline it and take the football. Yeah.
Well, it'll be loss of downs because it counts as a sack, so I think that's a 10-yard loss.
They haven't officially thrown a flag yet. There's a discussion going on back at the 30.
And he got outside the tackle box, but the football did not get back to the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback wasn't throwing to any receiver.
Nope, they're just going to call.
Yeah, but you see what happens when Guyton knows that it's a passing situation. You just cannot block him, and that time came inside on a stunt, and it was just immediate pressure on Central.
So 4th down and 7 from the Lions 43. They're going to punt this football.
But the first down, you did enough because potentially flipping field position here.
Cadets have Bubba Frazier back. They're going to rugby style it up the right side, and it'll take a roll.
That was dangerous for BC.
Inside the 20, still rolling, and out of bounds at about the 16, 17-yard line. We'll see where they mark it at the 16. So Cadets will take over 1st and 10. Worst field position of the football game so far for BC, but it's also, Christian, been all on the ground and been like knife through butter here offensively. They've really gotten 7-8 yards in a chunk, some big plays.
Yeah. And Kevin, kind of a developing situation here. I don't know how big of a deal it is, but the score is still messed up. They say it's 14-0. It was 20-0. Central still haven't gotten it back to BC, but that last play, the clock didn't run at all. So something to keep an eye on.
Here's a little give inside. That goes straight ahead, and a flag
mask
comes flying away from the backfield, and another one comes flying in from the lead official.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a face mask on Central.
Stanley Smart had only gotten a yard on the play. Let's see. Looking at the reaction, BC saying it's on Central.
Yeah, it's clear as day. The umpire and the
personal foul face mask, yeah. So that'll be a first down for the Cadets. Ball will go all the way out to the 33-yard line. Far side official took another step there.
Yeah, and that BC on that drive started with the same play that they did the first drive or the first play of the game, but better job defensively from Central.
Trips here to the near side for the Cadets on 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Cannon faking. Now it's going to roll here to the near side, trying to direct traffic, going to throw it into the Cadet bench. And first pass attempt of the ball game for Benedictine and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, good decision from Steven just throwing that one away, but he's gotten in this habit lately of just booting to his right every time there's any kind of pressure. If he steps up in the pocket, he's so dangerous, as we saw last week with that long touchdown run. Just got to see that more from him.
2nd and 10. Here's Cannon. Gives on the end around. This is Josh Washington. Josh going to make a man miss across the 40 out towards the 44. I think he's going to have a first down. Give him a gain of 11. And BC Brothers moving. Crank up the bus. Move the chains. First down. And the Cadets doing everything on the ground here in this first quarter.
Yeah, just slippery is Josh Washington, and he's been big in this first quarter.
Snap to Cannon. He'll keep it straight off to the left side and spinning across midfield into Lions territory at the 49. Gives Steven a gain of 7 on first down. And he just got behind Carlton Hall and rode it with him.
My college football fans will understand this reference. That was a Gunnar Stockton hit that Stephen Cannon just took. He just kind of got ragdolled, but he was able to pick up 6-7 yards right there.
So 2nd down. Don't do it, Christian.
I know there's somebody doing it right now.
We got to throw out some kudos after this play. Here's the snap. Cannon going to give it inside. This is Mallard. Oh, slippery inside. What a spin move at the 40. Inside the 40, still driving 35. Still pushing the pile. Always forward. Cadets inside the 30. Down to the 29. And a heck of a run by Aaron Mallard.
Yeah, heck of a job by Steven just getting the football to Aaron, because it was just a little bit mistimed and something you expect with a new center in there. But once Aaron Mallard got the football, man, it was like watching somebody play running back on easy mode on EA football. I mean, he was pressing the circle button, the RB button, all the juke moves.
5 wide for the Cadets. Here's Cannon, quarterback keeper off the right side, got a lot of room. 25, 20, and runs out of bounds. They're going to give him 9 on first down on a quarterback keeper all the way, just power off tackle to the right side.
Yeah, how about Hall out there blocking, and a big-time receiver for the Cadets out there lead blocking for Stephen Cannon.
And his brother, Carlton Hall, on Turkey Day, in case you missed it, committed to Middle Tennessee State. Here's the snap. Cannon, tail to Stanley Smart. He'll get inside to 20. That'll be a first down. Give him 2, maybe 2.5. And BC Brothers moving. We'll move the chains for us one more time here on this drive.
And just a good job picking up the first down there, give the offense a chance to breathe and reset. And now you're inside the red zone. Chance to extend this one even more.
Again, you saw the commitment from Carlton Hall. You felt happy for that young man. Played 6 plays last year for tearing his ACL. And Danny Britt said the recruiting's been a little slow just because he didn't have a lot of tape.
Well, the young man's lost a lot of weight and just transformed his body.
And now headed up to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, now BC running behind him a lot.
They're going to do half a flex bone here with 2 receivers to the left. They'll go straight ahead, Stanley Smart. And he'll lean towards the 15. They might give him the 15. Just maybe 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
And for those confused on the stream, BC is leading 14-0. It's inside the stadium. The scoreboard says that Central is leading 14-0. So the actual score is the Cadets 14, Central nothing.
We have it right on our screen.
Yes.
So 2nd down and 8 from Central's 15. Cannon out of a shotgun bunch formation to the right. They're going to give it to Bubba. Bubba runs to the left. He's got 2 men to beat as he turns the corner at the 10 and will run out of bounds at about the 8. And that should be enough for a first down and give the Cadets 1st and goal. BC Brothers moving. They don't need to move the chains now. They're just going to lay them down and give them 1st and goal.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they hand the ball to number 4 too. He's pretty good.
They're going to call him short.
Oh,
by the nose of the football.
That's.
I thought he ran out in front of the chains.
Yeah, he
over
did.
there.
That's atrocious.
So Cannon, this is going to be a tush push. Stephen Cannon straight ahead, and when in doubt, let your 6'3" quarterback fall forward and move. Now BC Brothers can move the chains.
That was interesting because Bubba Frazier was, I think he went out of bounds on the 5-yard line, but they marked him all the way back at the 9. So, hey, it works out.
So it's 1st and goal.
And you're curious, Kevin, how much are they going to use Bubba on offense if they don't have to, because you're trying to save him potentially for defense without your starting quarterback, Jonathan Black.
I think this is Josh Washington, tail of the I formation here as they'll put a couple of guys over to the right, bunched around. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Josh Washington. He'll run left side. 5, 3, 2, 1. Untouched for the touchdown. 20-0. And there's still 4:20 to go here in this first quarter. Christian Gokel, Josh Washington with an 8-yard touchdown run.
Hey, Kevin, there hasn't been anything fancy. It's been power football, and BC running it right at Central right now. And everything's clicking. And Josh Washington, to me, has been the story of the game so far. He's the guy who's always there, and, yeah, you're going to hand the ball to Stanley Smart and to Bubba Frazier, but number 7, man, he's different. He knows a nose for the end zone, and he's been a problem for Central.
Here's the snap. High snap dug out by Stephen Cannon, and Parker Lewis puts it through there. 21-0. Cadets out in front, and Christian, what a start here for BC. This is where the psychology of the playoffs comes in. You got a 12-0 team across the way, averaging 40 points a ball game. They've never been down 21-0, much less in the first quarter.
Correct.
And there's still a lot of football game left, but this is a team that hasn't had to play from behind virtually the entire season.
And listen, you get to this point of the season, you're going to face some uphill battles, and you're curious, Central, how many times have they been in those? We know BC has. You've been in dogfights at Colquitt County. You took on Buford here at Memorial Stadium. You went to Ware County and won. You went to Perry and won. You've been in dogfights before. Central, curious, they run the football 57% of the time. Still very early in this football game, but does this start putting you outside of your game plan?
So John Britton, for the third time here in this first quarter, he'll boot it left to right. They'll pooch it straight up down the middle of the field. It'll come down about the 15. We got a flag. I think somebody for the Cadets was offside.
And that could be significant.
And now if you're Danny Britt up 21-0, would you try a pooch kick to some open grass?
Yeah, I think your defense has been so dang good. You just keep putting them out there.
Well, I think that gives you some confidence to try that as well because your defense has been so good.
Well, I mean, I think what he's saying and what they were trying to do right there is there is about 30 yards of space right in the middle of the field right now. I think they were trying to put it there, but Britton just kicked it a little long. We'll see. Special teams coordinator / head coach Danny Britt.
So John Britton will do it again, this time from the 35.
And yeah, Kevin, if I'm him, I'm trying to land this at about the 35.
They do have a couple of upbacks. It's just a matter of how well do you think they can field it. They'll do it again. This time is deep back towards the 10, but right down the middle of the field. Coming straight up the field. They've got a seam, and BC recovers big time there at the 29-yard line.
Amari Burse.
Tackle made by Amari Burse on the kick coverage, and that's where the Lions will take over. And J.R. Harris has not done much here for Central at quarterbacks. Got one completion on kind of a tunnel screen to Walton, and then had the pick to Mackay, and that's been it as far as their pass game has been concerned.
Yeah, where they've been successful so far is off tackle. But again, you're probably not doing that at Guyton, so really you kind of cut your field in half if you're going to try to go off tackle all night. So curious to see, again, if you're Central, you just got to go back and say, hey, what has worked all season for us, because we got to move the football here.
3 wides out to the right. Harris will take the snap. He'll pitch it back inside, and that's going to be Walton.
Yep.
And he'll get out towards the 34. Kind of a shovel pass. He kind of cut underneath, but they were running like a reverse.
I mean, to me, that's the same counterplay that you saw every shotgun team run in the early 2000s, where the quarterback starts booting right and then hands it back underneath the running back. They just did it as a pitch forward. So, hey, if something does happen, it's an incomplete pass, and it's not a fumble.
So second down, call it 6 here for the Lions. Here's the snap. Robbins looking. Oh, Gavin Smith back there with the ball. Oh, no.
Yeah. Can't do that, Gavin.
Gavin got him a big handful of face mask. Yeah. Turned Robbins 180 degrees, and at least he didn't come up going, what? I didn't do anything. That's going to cost the Cadets 15, though. Everybody playing his day. And I think that was kind of by accident. Smith had beaten his man and kind of got pushed inside as the quarterback cut outside and got caught reaching.
It's significant because that's just the second first down for Central so far, but that time just a stunt. Guyton went in, and you had Smith coming on the outside, and like you said, he beat the tackle, but good job by the tackle, not giving up, pushing him just enough. Quarterback tries to boot out left, and then, like you said, Gavin got him a big old chunk of face mask and almost decapitated the poor guy.
So this will be 1st and 10 at the 49 of Central, and they'll line up in the pistol here with Robbins. He'll give it Walton, tail of that pistol straight ahead. Oh, made a man miss, and down inside the BC 35, still not going down until he gets an extra shove from LaDamian Guyton, at the 29.
Yeah, he went down hard, and he's still not up, but that's kind of the worry you have if your BC is.
He's down.
Yeah, he took a hard hit at the end of that. But, man, he's so talented, and you just see, Kevin, what happens. If he gets past that initial wave of the defensive line and gets into your secondary, it's hard for those dudes to bring him down. But I think it was Guyton who came in with a big hit at the tail end of that, just tracking back, playing pursuit. And, yeah, he's going to limp off on one foot.
He's a load at 205.
I think 205 is being very kind. I think that guy's pushing 220.
And they have his brother listed at 200, number 6.
Yeah.
He doesn't look much smaller. So he's going to walk off. Might have just got the wind knocked out of him. Again, LaDamian Guyton pushed him from behind, and I did not see the cadet who was holding on for dear life, and he kind of landed right on top of him, and the ball probably right there in the gut on a cold night, hitting this turf. That probably hits you in the breadbasket, would knock the wind out of you.
I hope he's okay because, man, he's fun to watch.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Lions.
And shout out to the Memorial Stadium staff. They said, we'll take care of this, guys. The scoreboard has been corrected.
So 3 down lineman, LaDamian Guyton standing up off the right side. Robbins going to take a drop, throw out in the flat, going to be caught, hit immediately. Out there in the flat, that was Cole Schumann with the tackle.
Yeah, BC just playing drop coverage right there, soft zone, and the zone beater right there. Good job by the quarterback getting the ball out quick and positive yardage on 1st down.
The 2nd down and 5 after the completion.
Yeah, it's just going to be another Walton in the backfield.
Yeah, they just go to the, just says Walton, and here's Robbins just out there in the flat, and nice stick and a tackle. And that was Wyatt Estabrook flying down from his safety spot to make it, but that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, same play, just coming back the other way, and BC sticking with that soft zone coverage, and big 1st down, 2 plays, 1st down.
Twins up top, one here to the short side, left of J.R. Robbins, or J.R. Harris, excuse me. Harris out of the pistol. He's got Walton behind him. Here's the snap. They throw out, and the flat is wide open. Flag comes flying in and tackled out of bounds at about the 8.
I think they might get BC for a late hit on the quarterback too. But they just go to the H-back, and he's in the flat. Great job by the quarterback getting it out to him.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on BC.
Take that half the distance to the goal too.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the Cadets.
So that'll put the ball on the 4-yard line. The Lions are going to run in a couple extra big uglies out there. And they'll go, I think they got 2 defensive tackles playing behind.
Heavy formation here.
And number 6, I would guess Walton going to get it. They give it to him off the right side, and he'll spin. They turn him back at the 3. Larson Little led the charge there for the Cadets. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, just a yard right there picked up, and good job by BC answering. That's a lot of size in there, but if I had to imagine, Kevin, they're probably just going to do that 3 more times.
This is Jesez Walton, the younger brother of Jonas Walton, who's headed to Notre Dame. And here is the give. They go back to the left side this time. Cadets are there, and there's Amari Burris to grab him. And his BC Cadet brothers pick him up, Makai Williams and Larson Little. And that's JoJo Sutton all coming over to clean it up. Maybe a half yard down to the 3, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, a team that's not unfamiliar with making big goal line stands in the playoffs, Kevin. I think they're going to put back in their regular personnel here, and it might just be spread to run. But I like, if I'm them, throwing, but putting your quarterback on the move, letting him be mobile here.
So they got Jesez Walton behind Harris in the pistol. From the 3, they'll check back here to the near side. They do have 2 wide receivers out to the right.
Yeah, you got a wide receiver on a safety.
Harris, they'll give it to Walton. No, they'll fake it and throw it, and that's going to be a touchdown. That was the old Mike Bobo goal line play. You fake the handoff, run somebody underneath, and it was wide open to Rhett Nelson, the tight end, and he puts it in the end zone, and the Lions are on the board.
Yeah, great play call. Play action, and you just go flat, and it's some people would call it offensive pass interference. I call it just a good route. You have the outside guy kind of clear a path and then go flat underneath them, and a really nice ball from the quarterback. And A heck of an answer. Aided by a couple of penalties on the Cadets, but still heck of an answer by Central.
So here's the point after for the Lions. And it's rolled back to the kicker. They're going to have to scramble out. Robbins has got it. Or excuse me, Harris. And he'll throw it towards the end zone. And did he catch it?
Oh, I think he was out
Somebody
of bounds.
went out of bounds.
Yeah, he did not.
Boy, that
catch it.
was almost something out of completely nothing.
Yeah.
27 points scored in this first quarter. We still got a minute to go. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Sapelo Straw Company. With Sapelo Pine Straw, you can expect fresh, clean pine straw, fast and reliable service, and a beautifully finished yard. We take pride in neat professional work. Call 912-254-1009 or look for us online at sapelostraw.co.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. It's been an offensive showcase here in the first 11 minutes as Central finds the end zone.
But Kevin, that was a big answer. Being down 15 at the end of the first quarter looks a whole lot different. It feels a whole lot different than being down 21.
Aaron Mallard, Josh Washington back deep for the Cadets, standing in that north end zone. And they'll drive it right down the middle of the field. It's going to be Mallard about the 14. Aaron comes straight ahead across the 20, 25, 30, and lowers the bow, showing his feet to 35. It's going to be a foot race at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. There goes Aaron up the left sideline. The flag comes in. And there's a touchdown, but I think this is coming back.
Oh, no.
Danny Britt is losing his mind. A flag comes in from the near side official who was 40 yards away from the play. You have a Carrollton player there, Central player down back at the 35. The flag was thrown at the 20 of Central.
I mean, it's going to be great field position for BC, but that wiped 6 points off the board, and they're going to say a Cadet was holding, but, man, he had his head on the inside shoulder pad and was just driving the man downfield. And I was watching the whole time, Kevin, because you're like, hey, just disengage, disengage, disengage. You don't need to be doing that anymore. It was not a hold. It was not a hold, but you got to know, Aaron Mallard is even with me. I don't need to block anymore.
Somebody better make sure Danny Britt's got the BP medicine.
That's bad.
He was showing off the 40 time racing to give the official an earful on that one. That negates a brilliant run. Central thought they had him knotted up there at the 35, 40-yard line, and he spun out of it. And it was open grass. And, Christian, I think you and I have watched him enough to know Aaron Mallard versus open grass, ain't nobody going to catch him.
No, and nobody was going to. And, again, he scores there, and it is what it is. These officials out here doing the Lord's work, as we learned in that Brunswick-Gainesville game last week. But,
again, you got the ball.
That's tough. But, like you said, you've got the ball at the 33-yard line. You're up 15, a chance to extend that lead here. And, man, Aaron Mallard, he said, hey, I'm sick of you guys having all the attention so far in the playoffs. It's time for 13 to shine.
So positive territory, to say the least, here for the Cadets. Again, if you're just joining us, it's been all on the ground. Stephen Cannon doesn't have a completed pass. I think the only attempt is one that was thrown out of bounds. Everything else has been, we're just going to power football you to death.
Keep doing it until they stop you.
And they're stacking the box. They've got some guys walked up there against that BC front. And now what do we have? And false start against BC, so that'll back them up 5 yards. Didn't really see anything that would.
I don't know how it's a false start if BC never got set and they were looking at the sideline.
And you saw Stephen Cannon even come up saying down, like we're going to make an adjustment.
Interesting.
So here's the snap. Cannon over. Oh, nice play action to Conaway over the middle. 15, 10, and Bennett Conaway down inside the 10. That was a fake to Stanley Smart, and Conaway over the top wide open.
That's a great play call, and it's just a seam route from your tight end. And how about the touch from Stephen Cannon layering it over a linebacker into the middle of the field? We talked about it. The middle of the field hasn't been open. Got to take advantage when it is.
Now here's to give Stanley Smart straight ahead on 1st and goal. He'll get down to the 6-yard line. They'll give him the 5, at least the far side official will, on the forward progress. So 2nd and goal from the 5.
And BC doesn't have to snap the football again in this quarter.
I'll see if they take another play. What a punctuation note it would be to answer right back before the quarter's over. Cannon's in a shotgun. He's got his back to the game clock. There's 8 seconds. Here's the snap. Cannon going to keep it himself off the left side. Steven, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Shoves a man at the goal line and in there with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. And the Cadets lead it 27-6. Steven Cannon with another touchdown scamper.
Yeah, and that was absolutely a read, Kevin. And he watched that outside linebacker crash in, and Stanley Smart pulled it and just beat the linebackers in the corner to the edge. Good blocking on the perimeter from Bubba Frazier there, and Steven Cannon lowers the shoulder, gets into the end zone, and, man, BC feels like they're running downhill right now.
And here is Parker Lewis for the point after. Another nice dig out by Cannon on the hold, and it's up and through, 28-6. Cadets have not been stopped, and that drive aided by a big play-action fake to Bennett Conaway.
Yeah, and like we said, great play design, big play action to Stanley Smart, and Conaway chips and reaches down the middle and just wide open on the seam route. It's a play that every school has in the bag somewhere, but you got to have the guys to execute it, and wonderful pass from Steven Cannon, heck of a catch by Conaway down the middle. I feel like sometimes, Kevin, those are the more difficult catches to make because you're like, hey, nobody's within 20 yards of me, and this ball's almost too easy, but secures it, sets you up inside the red zone. 2 plays later, you score again.
28-6. 34 points scored in the first quarter.
It's not over yet. Got 2 seconds left. Something big could happen.
So here's John Brenton to kick it off. He steps forward, drives it up the left side. It will come down about the 8-yard line. And right up the middle of the field, Cadets trying to bottle it up there as the horn goes off. And they'll bring him down about the 27-yard line. And that's where Central will take over, but we'll have to walk to the other end first. After one, Cadets up big. This is Cadet football on Watch BC Sports.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium. Benedictine has jumped way out in front, Christian, and it has been not trickery, well, a little bit, but 95% of it has been old school power football coming right downhill at you, and the Cadets have put up 28.
And it just feels like Central's been on their heels the whole game, but I think the last drive you saw a little bit of a spark from the offense, aided by a couple of BC penalties. They're going to have to do it again and then hope that defense can start getting some stops. Like I said, the benefit is you still have 3 full quarters to play here, but not many teams have scored 28 against BC this year. They just won.
5 wides here, empty backfield for Harris. He will step to his right now, tuck it. He'll try to turn the corner and run out of bounds. Jaden Houston forced him out over there at about the 33-yard line, give him a gain of about 4 on first down.
Yeah, good job by Houston there, but really nice job by the quarterback. Nothing was there, but made something out of nothing.
Second down and 6.
And again, we have not seen Jonas Walton come back into the football game. His brother, the backup running back, just says Walton. He is in there, but he is lined up at an H-back off to the left. An empty set here for Harris. And trips to his right. He asks for a man to come in motion. They will fake it. Harris comes to the near side. He just gets mowed under by Jameer Lee. I think he's actually lose a yard off that right side, and Jameer Lee just folded him under, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, there's not a lot of movement up front for the Central offensive line right now, and BC's defensive line doing what they've done for a majority of this year. But what they're doing really well tonight, Kevin, is just creating a pile, not getting too deep into the backfield and making it really, really tough sled between the tackles.
So it'll be third down, call it 7 after a loss of a yard.
They've beaten BC up in the flats in the passing game.
They've gone back to a pistol look. Here's Harris. Takes the snap. Straight drop, looking into flat. Caught. Amari Burst hits the receiver immediately. It was caught out there, I want to say, by Cannon Jones, the wide receiver. And that'll move the chains at the 40-yard line for the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, there's no defense for a great pass, perfect route, and just on time. Amari Burst was right in his hip pocket, but that ball was right in the receiver's hands as he made the turn.
Same formation here for Central. Harris on a straight drop. Oh, somebody got beat off the edge. He'll throw it out in the flat and intercepted. Picked off JoJo Sutton. Still on his feet up the left sideline. One play, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, JoJo Sutton. The flag is on the field.
Oh, my God, again?
And I don't know if this is going against BC. Danny Britt is out on the field.
I think it might. Oh, yeah, where it is, it looks like that's going to be a holding call during the return. Should still be an interception.
JoJo just made a great break on the play. And then fought out of a tackle and tiptoed up the sideline and went the rest of the way. That's a shame if this comes back.
Yeah, the receiver was just trying to knock the ball out of JoJo's hands instead of tackling him. And once he got away from that guy, there was nobody there but maroon shirts. And I'm curious what the call is.
I think the BC fans are going to lose their minds because that's 2 touchdowns off the board on
BC's offense
returns.
is walking out onto the field. I thought it might be a sideline warning where they threw the flag, but
this is a long discussion.
yeah, like you said, this would be 2 touchdowns wiped off the board.
Let's see what the official call is here after they broke. Block in the back against BC. How do you have a block in the back that quick on a change of possession?
Right.
And a sideline warning against BC. Actually, they called he pointed the wrong way, but yeah. He pointed it towards BC, or towards Central, and it was on BC. So sideline warning and a block in the back.
But yeah, good to have JoJo Sutton back. And man, what a play. They tried to run. You called it same formation. They tried to run the same play to the opposite side. JoJo makes a great break on the ball. Big interception when Central felt like they had a little bit of life in that drive.
Going to be at the 45 of Central. So positive territory again here for the Cadets. They'll put Conaway in motion over towards the right. Cannon takes the snap. Steven just out in the flat, caught. And that'll be a quick catch and a couple of yards there for Josh Washington. Give him 5 down to the 40-yard line on first down.
Yeah, quick RPO right there and one-on-one coverage at the bottom. Stephen Cannon pulls it out of Stanley Smart's belly, slings it out to the sideline, and quick 5 yards there. And what that does, Kevin, is makes those corners start walking up a little bit. And number 4 and number 7 have been known to run by people.
They got Bubba Frazier in man coverage way up top. Here's the snap. Cannon, Stanley Smart off the right side, makes a man miss, jumps in the hole. Nice spin move down inside the 31 down to the 30. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down, and that's just hard running by Stanley Smart.
Yeah, great job on the right side of that offensive line, blocking and opening it up for Stanley Smart. They must have practiced the spin moves this week, Kevin, because that's the second one we've seen.
Here's Cannon on first down. Steven will give it, and they blow it dead. Somebody,
early.
Yeah, they're going to say somebody moved for BC. And so far, offensively, the only thing to stop the Cadets has been the Cadets. I'll make it 1st and 15, and we'll push the ball back outside the 35 at the 36.
And that one was there again, Kevin. Just running off tackle, pulling guards, but I think someone got going a little bit early.
And they are playing man coverage against Bubba Frazier up top. You are a missed tackle away from that being a touchdown. Yeah. And Central wants a timeout. I think maybe they said, fellas, it's 1st and 15. Maybe we don't want to play man coverage.
Yeah, don't even
against Bubba Frazier.
Cover 1 in that situation.
But Christian, while we have this timeout, talk about the Cadets so far. Offensively, it has been whatever you want to do. Again, the only thing negative that's happened has been penalties. Everything else, I mean, you have not had a lot of negative run plays offensively. It's been, we want to run it to the left. Okay. You want to run it up the middle. Okay. Want to work it out to the flat. Okay. And Central has not had an answer thus far.
And what's fascinating is it's not like BC's come out with some exotic looks that we haven't seen a billion times before. This is their offense. And I wonder if that's what is leading to the successes. they're not getting outside of themselves here. They're running their offense, and it kind of gives that offensive line, which had to shuffle around a little bit, some confidence because they know what the plays are. They know where they're supposed to get to, and I think Stanley Smart has been a really big part tonight, but it's been Josh Washington and Aaron Mallard who have been the explosive bodies tonight, and Stephen Cannon, I think, is playing with a lot of confidence right now too, so it doesn't feel like you can really dial the wrong button right now because everybody's got a hot hand.
Cadets will bring everybody in tight after the timeout, and they will go I formation. Josh Washington, tail of the I. Stanley Smart will be your fullback. Here's Cannon under center. Josh Washington cuts back inside, still on his feet at the 30, and he's brought down there. And give him about 6 there on 1st and 15. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, I love that game within the game because 98% of the time BC lines up in the I formation. It's going to be a toss sweep. Well, that time, instead of going toss sweep, they come with an ISO between the tackles. So you could tell the Lions watched their tape this week. They all started flowing for the toss, but it was coming right up the middle. Big pickup there.
They'll put 4 wides, twins either side for Cannon. Steven takes the snap, hands it to Smart. Smart's got plenty of room left side, inside to 20. That'll be a first down. BC Brothers moving will move the chains one more time on this drive with 9:21 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Josh Washington out there lead blocking. You pull a guard again. Bennett Conaway's doing a heck of a job blocking on the outside, and BC's just taking advantage of the edge right now.
Cannon, they'll do it again. Same play. Stanley Smart off the left side, inside to 10. Still grinding, still spinning, shoved out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. That'll be another first down, 11 yards on that play. BC Brothers moving will move the chains one more time, and that'll give the Cadets first and goal. There's a flag back towards the 20. So this may be coming off. I didn't see it. It was kind of thrown towards the sideline. So
I mean, right now, flags keeping Central in the football game.
Yeah, that's against BC.
That's going to be 1st and 20.
It'll be a long ways. Let's see where they drop it down. It'll be 1st and 19. So the Cadets will go 5 wide here on 1st and 19. Empty backfield for Cannon. Steven, he'll just keep it himself off the left side. Got lead blockers everywhere. Steven spinning at the 15, still on his feet, shoved out of bounds at the 14-yard line. And again, just good old tiny hard-nosed football that time. That time, Christian, they pulled a guard who was at Caleb Ruiz and just followed him down the field.
Yeah, Kevin, again, you go empty, but your quarterback is 6'3", 207 pounds. You pull a couple guards, you pull the backside tackle, and you've got a bunch of guys out in front of them. That's just power football. Huge pickup.
Excuse me, that's Everett Nelson. I apologize, but still, stay right behind him. They'll give it right back around. That's Mallard. He gets inside to 10.
That's going to be close.
That's going to be awfully close to a first down. I think he's going to be short by about the length of the football. It'll be 3rd down.
So you're 1st and 18, and then 2 plays later, you got it at 3rd and inches.
They'll bring in Cam Cody here. And again, give a lot of credit to those big uglies up front. This is just physically dominating football at the point of attack. They'll go wishbone formation.
Let's go.
Stephen Cannon goes under center, out of the wishbone. They'll give it to that back. This is Josh Washington. He gets spun around and thrown down inside the 5 at the 4. BC Brothers moving, move the chains. First down, it'll be 1st and goal here for the Cadets.
We just said they weren't giving any exotic look, and then we go wishbone football, baby. Let's go.
Is there anything less exotic than wishbone?
I would almost guarantee, Kevin, that every child playing defense right now for Central has never seen the wishbone formation, so that is exotic.
Again, for a lack of a better word, this is just good old country physical football. They'll put 2 tight ends over to the left side. Cannon out of the shotgun. They'll quarterback power here to the near side. Steven breaks a tackle. 3-2-1. Touchdown. Stephen Cannon off the left side. And it's 34-6. And the Cadets are just wearing out that left side offensively. And they put one in the end zone again.
Yeah, you had to switch Hall over to left tackle following the injuries, and he's been dominating on that side just like he had on the right side. And Kevin, what do you do if you're Central? I mean, you're loading the box. You've got one safety. You're playing man coverage on the outside. You're doing everything you can, and BC is just blasting their way into the end zone.
Point after for Parker Lewis on the way. It's through there, 35-6. 8-6. Cadets continue to roll. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry on Watch BC Sports.
Dead or alive, we want your car. No matter the condition, running smooth or barely rolling, Cash and Carry in Savannah will buy it right off the road. Visit us now, get your instant offer, and turn that ride into cash today. We buy cars, any condition.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, Cadets have exploded. 35 points in the first half, Christian Gokel.
And it's been all on the ground. You had the one big pop pass to Bennett Conaway that broke that drive open, but everything else has been off-tackle, power, run game, and, man, it's been pretty to watch.
He may not say it, but somewhere deep inside, Danny Britt is smiling.
Yes.
We're just lining up and smashing you in the face. Fair catch called on the kickoff at the 25-yard line, but deep down in the score, you know Danny Britt loves just being physical, and the fact that they are lining up and just shoving it down your throat, you know, deep down he's got to be enjoying that.
Very happy about this, and like I said, it's the play that BC football was founded on under Danny Britt is the buck sweep, and they have been running that to perfection tonight.
So Central will take over on their own 26-yard line. And I believe, if you can eagle eye me, I think that's Jonas Walton, the Notre Dame commit, back in at tailback for
That is him.
the Lions. He stands behind Harris in that pistol. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Walton. He'll bust it outside, and he'll try to turn the corner, and he'll be brought down at the 35, a gain of 8. And nope, that was his brother, GHSA Walton. So we have not seen number 5 since he was taken off the field.
And Kevin, that time he did a nice job of kind of baiting BC in, acted like he was going to hit between the tackles and then cut outright. See a lot of college teams run that kind of play, and that time able to pick up 8-9 yards.
So 2nd down and 8. They got 2 receivers way out at the numbers on the opposite hash. Here's the snap. Play action. They'll throw it way out there, and it's going to be incomplete. That is – Harris has got a good arm, Christian, but you're talking about making him throw it 40 good yards to gain 2. Had he caught it, the receiver's kind of diving for it.
And it's kind of a throwback, and you're trying to get BC with their eyes in the backfield, but you had 2 cadets there. Effie did complete it.
So 3rd down and 2. We got Walton, just says Walton, tail of that pistol. They'll motion a tight end across the formation. Here's the snap. They'll go to Walton. He'll try to bust it inside. Nothing doing. That was Cam Cody. That was Gavin Smith getting up off the pile. And those 2 guys just folded over the right side of the offensive line of Central.
Yeah, BC went with a little slant action right there, and Central already feeling like they got to go for it. Or are they going to run the punt team on late?
Well, your quarterback is also your punter.
Yeah.
And a team that's used to scoring 40-plus has got 6. And really only that drive to kind of feel like he had anything going. They've been shut down completely on every other possession. So here is Harris to do the punting as well. Oh, high snap. It gets up, and he's got a low, wobbly punt. Going to check up and take a Central bounce down towards the 31 where they'll touch it up there. And that's where BC will take over with 5.5 minutes still to go here in this first half. And again, Christian, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep running the football. And I think Stephen Cannon with only, 3 or 4 pass attempts here in this first half. He's got a completion to Conaway, a little quick out to Josh Washington. And that's about it.
They've been there, and they've been explosive when you've done it, but for the most part, it's just been old-school power run football.
4 wides in the formation for BC. Snap to Steven. Oh, low, dug it out. Going to play action. Steven over the middle. Has a man caught. Josh Washington. He fell down immediately at the 47, of BC, but that'll be enough. 17 yards on the hookup and a first down. BC Brothers moving. We'll move those chains once again.
Yeah, so you punch them in the middle, punch them on the outside, punch them on the outside. That middle of the field is going to start opening up, and BC does a good job of taking advantage of it right there.
And they'll play action again. This is Mallard up the left side into Lions territory, thrown out of bounds at the 48 of Central.
But still picks up 5-6 yards right there.
5 on first down. It'll be second down. And again, now you're running a few routes that are essentially extensions of the run game, but Cadets will go flex bone here. One wide receiver in the formation is Bubba Frazier. They'll bring Bubba in tight next to Conaway, the tight end on the right side. Cannon under center. 2nd and 5 from the 48 of the Lions. The snap. They'll play action, busted play. Cannon going to power ahead, and he will be awfully close, actually, to a first down. Steven turned around. I think Stanley Smart was supposed to be there. He wasn't there. Steven tucked it and got 4.5 of the 5. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, almost turned into like a quarterback ISO play from the Paul Johnson era at Georgia Tech. Just follow the running back.
So third down is short. Cannon over the top, and what happened?
We got a timeout.
Timeout, Central of Carrollton. That'll be their second of the half.
Quick, and I think they felt like, hey, this might be ball game right here early. If they pick this one up, milk the rest of this half off. So you can't take the first half timeouts with you. I think that's a good call.
We'll step aside quickly. BC up big. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets up big here. Timeout. It'll be third down, and it looks to be kind of a full yard here, Christian Gokel. They went kind of tush-push formation. Now they're gonna go 5 wide here on 3rd and 1.
Would not be surprised if it's number 10 run to the rock. You might just count and see if there's something for a bubble screen, and then Steven takes it if nothing's there.
The left side has been pretty nice. They'll put Smart in motion. Trips up top now. Ooh, did they get him to jump?
They did.
Danny Britt saying they came across the neutral zone.
Guy was clearly across.
And now they'll run straight ahead. Stephen Cannon to the 40. He'll have the first down. Did he fumble the football? BC was saying down. Central saying they got the football.
I mean,
this is the fact that they're still discussing this makes you think this is not going to go
the
BC's
backside official who was on Central sideline said he was down.
BC keeps it.
Yeah.
That's a BC Brothers moving first down, moving the chains. Four and a half minutes to go here in the first. Empty set here for Cannon. They'll put a man in motion. Cannon will keep it straight up the gut. He's got 5. He's got 7. Still pushing. They'll turn him around at the 34-yard line and a pickup of, I think, 6 on first down with the forward progress.
Yeah, just a midline read right there, and the defensive end goes with the running back. Cannon pulls it out of his belly, cuts up the middle of the field. Big 6-yard play right there. Just gashing him on the ground.
And there may be one guy a little bit more excited than Danny Britt right now. And Christian, you'll know who he is.
Is that Mr. DePhillips?
Mr. Fogarty, the offensive line coach, who's, hey, we're going to maul them. And they have been doing it all of the first half. Here's a little counter inside to Mallard. Going to make a man miss. Stiff arm, still driving inside the 20. Shoves a man off and still goes down inside the 26. What a run by Aaron Mallard. The best 8-yard run you might see all season long. He had a man on him, just threw him off.
Yeah, honestly, it looked more like a rugby scrum than a football play, and you had Lions bouncing off of him, and he looked slight, but, man, he can throw around a lot of weight, and he's getting close to 200 pounds. He's going to be a big-time player. I would not be surprised if you start seeing some college offers coming in very soon.
And again, Christian, how about the offensive line? We talked so many weeks ago about, hey, they're young. Even Carlton Hall played 6 plays last year before he got injured. How are these guys going to fit, mix, and match? Early on, you're like, it's not gelling. You can't give Steven enough time to throw the football. And now here you are X number of weeks later, and they have owned the line of scrimmage here in the Elite Eight.
And just forewarning, I'm going to talk about this a lot as this game goes on, but think about who they weren't gelling against. You start with a scrimmage against Camden County, a 7A football team. Then you hit the road and take on Colquitt, who's a perennial Georgia power. Oh, and then the next week you have to block Buford at home. So it's just they were trying to gel against some pretty dang good football players. And then once you started getting into the region play, you really saw what this team could do. And, I mean, Kevin, I don't know that they played better than they have tonight.
And, again, it's been 5-6 yards at a clip running the football tonight. You can win a lot of football games doing that against anybody, much less a team that's 12-0 and Central has won a lot of football games here in 2025. So here we go, 1st and 10. Cannon, he'll give it Stanley Smart. He'll bounce out to the right, try to turn the corner, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's been about the worst rush tonight for Benedictine. It'll be no gain officially.
Yeah, better pursuit that time from the Lions, but still BC, I think, trying to work clock here. They don't want to give the football back to Central this half. As Coach Houston just takes a gentle stroll down the sideline. I think he's happy with his unit this evening.
I think he says that'll play most weeks. 4 wides, twins either side here on 2nd and long. They'll give it inside. This is Stanley Smart down towards the 20, so give him a gain of 7 on 2nd down. Christian, it's just chunk plays in the running game.
Yeah, and the offensive line is doing a good job. They're mixing it up. Some of it's power, some of it's double teams. They're running some zone, and then that time you kind of let the guys flow up almost like it's pass protection, and then the running back comes underneath. So Central just not getting a really good idea of what BC's throwing at them.
3rd down here for the Cadets. They'll give Stanley Smart again inside, and there he goes right up the gut for a touchdown. 20-yard touchdown, Stanley Smart. Tack another 6 on. 41-6. And it has been deflate in another way. It's just, we're taking the air out of the football and we're going to shove it right down the field.
Hey, listen, man, it's 40 degrees out there on the field. You're getting hit over and over and over again. Eventually, you just start to wilt as a defensive front. And like you said, BC has just completely taken the air out of what was a pumped-up Central football team.
41-6, and there's still 2 minutes left in this first half. The point after by Parker Lewis is good. 42-6. We'll step aside one more time here in the first half. This is Cadets football on Watch BC Sports.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets up 42-6. John Brenton getting quite the workout here in this first half.
I'm about to say, I don't think he's hit this many since soccer season.
And here's the kick right down the middle of the field. Going to come down about the 7-yard line. Out across the 15, working his way towards the 20. Got a block there, 25, and still on his feet. Missed tackles all abound, and he's racing up the left side, and he's going to take it up the left side, still on his feet. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. A 92-yard kickoff return, and BC missed about 6 tackles.
And Danny Britt is losing his mind on the sideline.
And I think the one guy that doesn't want to run back to the sideline is wearing number 33, saying we cannot kick it right down the middle.
I mean, you had done just about everything right in the game, and you blow an assignment like that. Like you said, you still had some guys there to make a tackle. Just got to force them to the sideline, even if it's to your 40 or your 30, make them work to the sideline. And that time, Kevin, you're giving them hope, giving them a little spark right there, and now they're going to go for 2.
So Lions line up for 2 here. Again, they missed the extra point on their initial touchdown, and BC wants a timeout. I think Danny Britt wants one to get his guys back together and go, hey, there's still a lot of football here. You can't let them go 92 yards, miss 6 tackles, and get in the end zone.
Yeah, and your defensive unit, too, also just had to run from about the 50 all the way to the end zone to get on there. You're trying to get subs on and off the field, just that quick change. Like we said, you got all 3 timeouts, can't take them with you.
The Georgia High School Association is a voluntary, non-profit organization composed of over 450 public and private high schools. The GHSA administers regulations for region and state competition in 19 sports and 2 activities. Founded in 1908, the GHSA strives to promote good sportsmanship, participant safety, and fair play amongst its member schools. For more information, visit ghsa.net or follow them at official GHSA on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So they're going to go for 2 here, Christian.
You got to try to get every point you can scrape up now of your Central.
I mean, if you're BC, you still got 2 minutes and 2 timeouts.
Oh, the 2-minute offense will be in full force.
So here's the snap. Rolling here to the near side, looking, throwing in the end zone, diving, and incomplete.
Yeah, good job by Mackay right there. Eyes on the quarterback the whole time, broke that one up. So keep it at a 30-point lead.
And now this is one where that was big for Central. If you can keep BC out of the end zone, you get the ball coming out of the locker room. So if you say, well, just knee on it and go to the locker room and don't really try to do anything fancy, I think 2 minutes you try to put more points up.
2 minutes, 2 timeouts, and the way this offense has been rolling, absolutely.
And depending on how they kick this ball off, it's been very returnable for BC, so you're likely to get decent field position here with 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think Aaron Mallard and Josh Washington might like to answer that one.
Oh, you remember the last time they had a chance? He took it and got called back.
Right.
On a block in the back away from the play. So this will be 39. I almost said 19. I think it's Jake Davis to kick it off here for Central.
And might this be an onside?
They're going to pooch it up to the left. Oh, that is Stanley Smart. That might not have been the guy you wanted to kick to.
That's Cole Henderson.
There's Cole Henderson. Comes back to the near side, makes a man miss. Works across the 40, still on his feet, and trying to circle back. 45, and dives ahead towards the 47. Nice return, Cole Henderson.
Yeah, so with a minute 52.
And 53 yards to go.
Yeah. I think BC absolutely foot on the gas pedal right here. And shout out to Central, man. They pack the away side and always love when the teams bring the band.
Cannon will go under center. They got I formation. Here's the snap. They give Josh Washington tail of that I, and Central read that nicely. And they'll lose 2.
Yeah, sold out to stop the run on that one. And BC going to substitute here, go spread formation. I think try to go fast.
And now Cadets go hurry up on 2nd down and 12. Cannon with the snap. Looking. Cannon will tuck it. Flush out of the pocket. Has a man underneath. It's caught. And wide open. Plenty of room at the 40. First down, Stanley Smart. And he'll pick up 14, 15 on the play. BC Brothers moving. Move the chains. First down.
Yeah, great job by Steven that time, stepping up in the pocket away from the pressure, kept his eyes downfield, and Stanley Smart did a good job helping his quarterback out. Made himself big. Huge play right there for the Cadets.
Empty backfield here on 1st and 10. A quarterback keeper here is Steven straight ahead, makes a man miss and spins inside the 30 down to the 28. That's a gain of 11 and another first down here for BC.
Yeah, great play call right there. They had all of their eyes on the receivers right there. Nobody watching the quarterback, and Stephen Cannon picks up a big 11 yards. BC now in striking distance.
In a minute, from 28 yards out. Still plenty of time with those 2 timeouts. Here's the snap. Stanley Smart straight ahead. Stanley jumps in the hole, still on his feet, dragging a man down towards the 20. They'll give him the 21, and it'll bring up second down and about 3. I think BC just took a timeout with 48 seconds, so should still have 1 left here, Christian.
Yeah, and I like that timeout right there. But, Kevin, how about your hurry-up offense being just pounding the rock between the tackles? It's worked pretty well so far.
If you're getting 7 to 8 yards a clip, and that's going to stop on moving the chains, why not, right? It's as good as trying to throw it.
That's exactly. And like you said, it's just big gap plays right now. BC rolling offensively. And Kevin, looking back on BC's schedule, just one team able to surpass the 40-point margin on the Cadets. Buford in that 42-14 win. The other team with the most points against BC so far this year, Colquitt, 27 points, the most as BC defense has surrendered. And those are the first 2 weeks of the season. It just kind of gives you an idea of the mountain that Central has to climb offensively if they're going to be able to crawl their way back into this game.
And haven't stopped the Cadets at all. So coming out of the timeout, 48 seconds to go. Trips here to the left. Bubba Frazier, they are going man up top. And everybody on the short side move. BC didn't know the snap count, and that's going to drive Danny Britt absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you can't do that coming out of a timeout.
And you can't just say it was one guy. The entire trip formation of wide receivers all took off at the same time. And again, you wonder if they just take a shot here, and I'm surprised that the Lions are playing man up with Bubba Frazier up there. Now they'll put 2 receivers up there, so they got 2 guys top of the formation. They'll pump fake, double move. Cannon going to have to flush out of there looking. Steven rolling and throws it, and did he catch it? No.
Came out at the end.
Coming back towards it was going to be Cole Henderson, and it just couldn't hang on. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, big bull rush right there from 33, and he just deposited a BC offensive lineman right in Stephen Cannon's lap. I don't know how he stayed on his feet, but this would be a big stop right here if you're Central.
So 3rd and 8. I guess running the ball is still on the table.
Yeah, for sure. You still have a timeout. And if nothing else, you try to pick up some yardage and give Parker Lewis a shot at a field goal.
8 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. Don't want to waste a timeout here if you don't have to. Here's Cannon, twins either side, and now Danny Britt used it. And he rips off the headset. He is frustrated that they did not get that play off. Kind of wasted a timeout there.
Well, I think he's frustrated at the culmination of these last couple minutes, Kevin, where it's just you dominate for the first 20 minutes of the first half, and then these last 2-3 minutes, you've let them slide back into not back into the football game, but you're just kind of taking your foot off the gas, started making some uncharacteristic mistakes. You give up the long kickoff return for a touchdown, and then offense has been clunky, making simple pre-snap mistakes. I think you're just frustrated. You got to in the Elite Eight and beyond just be completely dialed in. It feels like BC is kind of taking a deep breath and be like, all right, we're good.
So now, no timeouts. Does that change the thinking here on 3rd down on what you want to do? You could still run it, but you better have 2 plays called.
Well, I was going to say, if you do run it right here, you have this big huddle on the sideline, you just have to have that field goal unit ready to roll. Or you're saying, hey, you got 2 plays to do this.
My guess is the score being what it is, you could take a chance with 2 plays called here. Bubba Frazier soloed up top of the formation. Twin receivers here to the bottom. 3rd and 8. Here's the snap to Cannon. Straight drop. Steven got some pressure. Going to roll to his left. Steven going to take it himself. Cuts back inside at the 20. And he should have the first down at the 18. And that'll stop the clock. And I think they're going to hurry up and spike it here real quick. Trying to get lined up.
Oh, you're going to try to sub.
Do they have enough guys on the field? Carlton Hall needs to hurry up.
Parker Lewis is on the football field. I think Parker Lewis thought
don't run off the field. And, they got bailed out. Central called a timeout. BC had the completely wrong personnel. I don't think they thought Steven made it. at least on the sideline, Danny Britt is giving them the what for. Again, you were just trying to spike it. You had Carlton Hall lined up outside of Bennett Conaway, who's a tight end, because they were just trying to get guys on the line.
Well, Parker Lewis thought it was a field goal. Like, he had his tee out there to kick a field goal, and he picked it up and started running off the football field. So, yeah, that one just big miscommunication. And, again, it's not just the players sometimes that take their foot off the gas. The coach, you think, hey, cool, we're going into the half up 42-12. You can't think like that. And what Danny Britt's saying, like, hey, fine, we're up 42-12 right now. What if those 12-12? And we're in a fight for our life right now. We need points out of this drive. We cannot have those kind of mistakes. So, I mean, he's not just coaching the players down there, that's for sure. Be interested to get a feed to the headset.
Yeah, and again, Central kind of bailed him out with the timeout.
Yeah, I don't know if they thought maybe a trick play was on and they wanted to make sure their guys were good, but yeah, I might have let BC kind of rock with that one because it probably was going to be a 5-yard penalty.
So trips to the left here. It's 1st and 10 from the 18. No timeouts here for the Cadets with 20 seconds. Snap to Cannon. Stevens straight drops. Got a little pressure. Lets it go towards the end zone. A little misread and incomplete. Almost intercepted at the 1, but through the hands of the defensive back. That was Allenson Hand Simmons.
Yeah, and he got hit as he threw that football, so it was just kind of a lame duck floating through the air. Fortunately, had enough air to get out of bounds right there. But, again, you got, I'd say, at least 2 more shots at the end zone right here, and you send on the field goal unit.
Can't take a sack at this point.
No, that would be the half.
Cadets will put trips up top. They got Conaway a tight end here to the left. Smart offset of Cannon. Steven, they're going to roll to the right. Around the edge, Steven's still going. He's going to pump fake, tuck it, and have the first down at the 8 with 5 seconds. That took a lot of time. Now, if you're going to throw the end zone, it better be quick.
Yeah, and I don't know, just with the way high school officials work, it always feels like there's 1 or 2 seconds. I kind of bleed off the clock towards the end, so I think you send the field goal unit on.
Yep, field goal unit is coming out.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any 4-second plays in high school football.
And Parker Lewis, they're going to ask him to cover the rest of this before the half.
And he's left a few wide the last couple of games. This could be a big confidence builder for your kicker.
Cannon will set it down on the 15. A 25-yarder is line drived up, and it is good.
Yeah, there we go.
As the half comes to an end, Cadets tack on 3 more. It's 45-12, and a football game that BC Christian Gokel has really dominated from the jump.
Yeah, and defensively, offensively, and special teams, really just one blunder in the kickoff return for a touchdown. Outside of that, you've been pretty much perfect. And BC, you kind of felt like this was coming. You haven't had the offensive output that you wanted. You've had some guys that have just been tackled by the shoestring, and you've been waiting for this offense to explode. And, man, it could have come at a worse time for Central.
45-12, Cadets dominating there in the first half. As we head to the locker room, I think a lot of BC fans might be headed to the tailgate area.
Yeah,
might see that Texas A&M game shining through the parking lot as they have come out and absolutely dominated this football game. We are coming back with the Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report. Cadets up huge here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome back to the halftime report, brought to you by Bernard Williams Insurance. Cadets up huge, 45-12 over Central of Carrollton, and it's been all BC since the jump here in this one as the Cadets took their opening possession right down the field for a touchdown. The ensuing drive, they got an interception. Mekhi Williams stepping in front of a pass, intercepting it at the 30, and just a couple of plays later, the Cadets were in the end zone again, and just like that, I think it was less than a minute, or 2 minutes, you were up 14-0, and Cadets have never looked back. Again, a big kickoff return for a touchdown. Other than that, only one drive resulting in points for Central, and they have put up just 12 here at the half. So a tough start for the Lions, but everything going good for the Cadets. Maybe a little sloppiness there at the end with some things they could have done better, but by and large, it has been a dominating effort, especially by those guys up front along that BC offensive line here tonight as they have dominated the point of attack against this Central football team, who I don't think has been in this position all season long, being down by this much. They've been up on some teams by this one as kind of score, but never have they been behind all season long by this kind of margin. And the way they're moving against this BC defense, it's going to be tough sledding for the Lions for much of the rest of the evening. We'll take a quick moment, let you know that the Georgia High School Association would like to thank its corporate partners for their valuable support of high school athletics and activities. Alpha Insurance, Georgia Electric Membership Corporation, Gatorade, Wilson, BSN Sports, the Atlanta Hawks, Mizuno, the Atlanta Braves, Subway, Sport Medicine South, the Atlanta Track Club, NFHS Network, Regions Bank, Max Preps, GoFan, and Georgia Public Broadcasting. Again, the Cadets are up huge here at the half. If they can hold on in this second half, they will be at home again here next week. They would play the winner of North Oconee and Marist in the semifinals right here at Memorial Stadium next week. So a win in this one would be super huge, not only to move on, but you could move on and stay home. And what a change that would be from last year, where the Cadets had to go on the road every single round they played in. And had they won in round 3 last year, would have had to go right back to Atlanta for a 4th straight week. And what a difference it has made not having to make those bus rides and being able to stay right here in Savannah to play these playoff games. Cadets up big here at the half. We're coming right back. The Bernard Williams halftime report.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here at the half. Cadets up big here on the Bernard Williams halftime report. Again, if this kind of holds in this second half, Cadets will be at home again next week against either North Oconee or Marist as we are into the Elite Eight round. Final four and a right to go to Mercedes-Benz would be on the line. And Christian Gokel looking way down the road, obviously. But, again, there's an extra off week built in there as well before the state championships would be played, I believe. No?
That was the beginning of the –
I thought there was another one in there. But
we've had this
that being said,
either way.
Semifinals against either Marist or North Oconee. Talk about, again, just the offensive line domination tonight and controlling the line of scrimmage against a team that, again, hasn't been pushed around all that much defensively themselves.
Yeah, I think that's been the thing that stood out to me so far, just the domination at the line of scrimmage for the Cadets. And offensively, it's been the guards and tackles getting out on the perimeter and just handling. It's one of my favorite football terms, but it rings so true. Big guys on little guys. And when you can do that consistently, you're going to have a lot of success. And BC's had 300-pound offensive linemen out in space blocking safeties and corners, and they've had a whole lot of fun, and the running backs have had a whole lot of fun running behind them.
And again, Stephen Cannon using his legs a couple of times to get in the end zone. Aaron Ballard's been able to find the end zone. Stanley Smart's been able to find the end zone. It hadn't been just one guy, but you've really taken the pressure off Stephen with his arm. But when he's had to use it, guys have been running wide open because they're selling out to try to slow down the run.
100%. And it's complementary football. And when you have eyes in the backfield, all of a sudden, some of those crossing routes and some of those deep posts start to work. I mean, the one to Josh Washington over the middle on the post route, we haven't seen that in 5 or 6 weeks. And it's just because teams have committed so much to backing off and keeping BC in front of them. When BC comes out and they're able to just bludgeon you like they have with the run game, all of a sudden you start seeing that stuff open up again. And I think Stephen Cannon's done a really good job tonight where when those opportunities have presented themselves, he's really thrown some nice passes.
Really has defensively, I think, kind of dominating as well. Also at the half, Marist 13, North Oconee 7. So that's a dogfight. And what makes that interesting is Marist runs triple options. Yeah. So when they're ahead, and I think BC remembers that from several years ago, Marist came here, played a heck of a ball game, and it was kind of by the grace of God, BC got a stop, got the ball back, because for a while it looked like, Marist was going to run the clock out with the way they were running that triple option. So the fact that they're ahead of North Oconee could be an awful short second half, depending on how that one goes there. But we'll get to that when we need to. Right now, it's just been absolutely dominating by the Cadets here in the first half. And again, so much, Christian, I thought you made a great point. I don't think we saw this happening, but so many times you see the quarterback and you've kind of had the Holden Gerners and the Croman Hawks and now Stephen Cannon. You're like, just let him go. Yeah. Throw it 30 yards down the field every time. No, when you line up and punch somebody in the mouth the way they've done here, this is so demoralizing because you know they're going to run it, and you're still getting 7-8 yards a clip pretty much every time you tote the rock.
Yeah, and it's just been really nice play designs and play calls from A.J. DePhillips. It's not stuff we haven't seen before from the cadets, but it's just how he's doing it. It's like we said, we compare it to a boxer. He's hitting the body blows, he's hitting the jabs, and he's also coming with some haymakers as well, and it's just all perfectly timed to keep Central off balance. And you're hitting them off tackle, you're hitting them between the tackles, you're switching up what the defensive front is seeing from the offensive line. It's not the same scheme over and over again. And then you're going different formations. You're under center of the flex bone. That's worked out really well for you. You go back in the shotgun, and you're counting numbers and you're bludgeoning people. And I think A.J. DePhillips, again, offensive coordinator, probably the hardest job just in terms of catching flack in football. And through the first 2 games, even though you win 2 playoff games, one of them by 35 points, and the other one you win 21-7, you're like, man, the offense is fine. And they're showing that tonight.
Got a lot more to get to here on the Bernard Williams halftime report. We're coming right back. Cadets up huge as we get you ready for the second half here on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Sapelo Straw Company. With Sapelo Pine Straw, you can expect fresh, clean pine straw, fast and reliable service, and a beautifully finished yard. We take pride in neat professional work. Call 912-254-1009 or look for us online at sapelostraw.co.
Welcome back here at the half. Bernard Williams halftime report. Cadets up huge. And again, hope this holds so they can be right back here next Friday at Memorial Stadium with a chance to go play for a state championship. But Christian, we've really talked about the growth of this football team, and you're seeing it more and more each and every week. And I know the coaching staff here has talked about, hey, we want to hit the crescendo at the right time, and it appears they're doing that.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to this coaching staff and how they've developed this team as they've gone. But we go back to it so many times. I'm sure we'll talk about it. BC is able to pull out a win in this one. You go out and you schedule the hard teams at the beginning of the season, and it's not a thing that a lot of programs do, and we'll probably see it even less in the future with this new playoff system and the formatting they're going to have in the GHSA. But BC goes out and plays the Colquitts, plays the Bufords, plays the Camdens for situations like this. They're battle tested. They've played against as good of defensive lines and quarterbacks and running backs as you're going to see in the state of Georgia. And so when you get to this situation, it's nothing you haven't seen before. In fact, it's what you're used to practicing and playing against. And again, Central can only play the schedule that is out in front of them, but when you're winning 45-7 every single game, can give you a little bit of false confidence. And last week you win 58-27. No one thought you were going to come in and be down 30 at half in the next round.
No, not at all. And now, second half starts. We saw this a little bit earlier where you got up big and you kind of relaxed a minute and kind of made the game a little more interesting. Here's where I think good teachable moment for Danny Britt saying, look, we come out of the locker room. It's hard to do this mentally with anybody. You say, hey, it's 0-0, play like that. Coach, we're up 45-12. Yeah, right. We can't play like that.
No.
And I think that last 30 seconds, he was really frustrated at the execution and how they had a chance maybe to try for a touchdown, but took themselves out of it, taking too much time, bad formations, not the right personnel, trying to finish out a half.
Yeah, and that's what kills a successful coach is, hey, when you're at the goal line of a 10-10 football game and it's crunch time, they look super calm and stoic because, hey, that's football. That's what's going to happen. But when you start making the mental mistakes and the lazy mistakes and the lackadaisical mistakes that you don't have to make and no one's forcing you to make those, that's when they come unglued. And we haven't seen Danny Britt that animated all season, and he's up 30 points going into halftime. So, yeah, I think some people got an earful there, whether it was in the headsets or on the sidelines, but that's just the level of success that you have to maintain if you want to reach your ultimate goal. A lot of teams really happy to get to this round. This round for BC is one of those stepping stones to what they ultimately want to achieve.
And again, we haven't seen Walton, the big Notre Dame commit at running back. He left with what appeared to be some kind of ankle injury potentially. Haven't seen him back out there. And that clearly took a toll on what they wanted to do offensively. I mean, they were down 21-0 when that happened, but still a team that doesn't appear is going to beat you 30, 40 yards over the top tonight to try to get back in this thing in a hurry.
No, they have guys that can do that, but I've been really impressed with BC secondary. They've just been lockdown coverage. Really, the completions they've gotten have either been on big play actions and they've hit you in the flat, or they're just perfectly timed passes where you have a guy right on the guy, just can't beat a perfect pass. So BC secondary throughout the playoffs has been really, really good. We spent so much time talking about that defensive front, but man, that secondary is good. JoJo Sutton's got an interception. Mekhi Williams has an interception. I mean, you have 6 interceptions in the past 6 quarters. I don't know that there's many teams in the state that can say that. So really, really impressed with this defensive unit. And I think it's given the offense a lot of confidence.
Certainly has. And again, I think you kind of made a joke of it, but I think it's just kind of true and how his personality is and kind of how the coaching staff is by and large. But you saw Galen Houston there with 2-3 minutes left in half, just kind of strolling around. He's like, I know my guys are like, I know we're good. You know what I mean? It's one of those, he's got that quiet confidence where he's like, we've kind of seen everything. You're not going to score enough on us tonight to beat us. And he just has that confidence of, I'll put my 11 out there and you're not going to get us.
Right. And for Central, I don't know how much their game plan changes losing their starting running back, because they still want to be a power run team on the inside and set up the play action and the throwaway on the outside. But what it's taken away is just that chance for a 5-6 yard play to turn into a 30-40 yard play, or maybe even a touchdown. And we saw it, unfortunately, on the play he goes down, but Walton's just such a talented back. I mean, he looks like a college running back out there right now. Bust through the first line of defense, dragging guys, and then goes out injured off that play. But you saw that. That's the play where it's, hey, we can hand it to this guy where he's going to get 5 yards, but he can also turn it into a touchdown. That's kind of the element that they're missing.
We are at the half. BC up big. We'll take another break, come back, get you ready for half number 2. This has been the Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report, or Bernard Williams Insurance Cadet Halftime Report. We're coming right back here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here. Just about ready to start the second half in a couple of minutes. Everybody getting loosened back up. And Christian, is this the worst part if you were a fan? Hey, go inside where it's 75 degrees for about 20 minutes and then come back outside.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Players don't mind it, I'm sure, but
no. You're 16, 17 years old, you're fine. Some of these fans got achy joints. There was a lot of fellas down in the restroom saying, move, move, move.
And again, a number of Cadet faithful have headed for warmer climates, maybe to get the tailgate refired up back out there in the parking lot as well.
Fire pits going.
Yeah, you can still see it burning bright over there in the tailgate area.
And that was unbelievable, Kevin, earlier, just about
shout out to the BCAA for that.
You have a 30-foot screen up there showing clean old-fashioned hate. You had the fire pits, and then to the Washington family for inviting us in for some unbelievable barbecue. We appreciate that as well. And I think, I'm not saying it's us, but I think us going to the Washington tailgate area for some food spurred on Josh Washington having such a huge first half. But I just appreciate all the hospitality. Carl Smith, BCAA, do a great job of setting that up, and I can confidently say there's no other tailgates like that happening.
A lot of former cadets walking around down there.
I've been to some college games that didn't have tailgates like that.
Talked to Stevie Powers, who of course knows about playing in big-time games here for Benedictine, and he was on the team that they win the last championship in the Georgia Dome before it was torn down.
Garner and Cromenhawk won in Center Park Stadium.
So this would be uncharted territory getting to the bins. But, of course, BC had that big win over Greater Atlanta Christian. They are in the Georgia Dome. Stevie Powers, Brad Stewart. I believe that was that Ralph David Abernathy the fourth on that GAC team. Ended up going to Tennessee, I think.
Kevin, my question is now, and it's insane to say this in the Elite Eight, but BC puts some more points on the board here. How long are you leaving some of these starters in? I'm not saying wholesale changes, but you've got some guys that are dealing with lingering injuries. Do you just start maybe pulling some of those guys and letting them roll? That'll
be an interesting question for Coach Britt. I think ideally if this kind of holds in this first 7-8 minutes, it was, guys, can we score in 7 minutes instead of 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And just run the game out.
Yep. Get a stop, score, and go to work.
So the Cadets back out on the field. Again, Cadets, white helmets, maroon jerseys with the white letters, and white pants tonight. Central of Carrollton's got maroon helmets with white jerseys, maroon numbers, and the silver, gray pants, if you will. John Britton will get us started here in half number 2. Kicking left to right down towards the south end zone. And here's where, if you're Danny Britt, I think you've kind of said this at moments, not constantly, but at moments of, can we just keep our foot on the gas? Don't come out and play like it's 45-12.
I think the officials are upset about the music being played because everybody's lined up. You can't play music while
they don't have the clock set either, so. Now we're ready, I think. They added a few more watts, I think, to the sound system this week.
I think Jack Holland splurged on that.
So here's John Britton to start us off. A little pooch kick up the right side, going to be fair caught at the 26.
And offsides.
And how that's going to drive Danny Britt crazy. How are you offsides on a pooch kick?
See, hunches over, hands on his knees.
We just talked about playing clean and play like it's 0-0 and you're offsides on the kickoff.
Look, Danny Britt's got a beautiful head of hair. That's how you put more grays in it, though. He can't keep doing that stuff.
Not as cold as it was last quarterfinals.
No.
Christian and I remember
we're at sea level.
Christian and I remember having to chisel ice off the face and hands after that one with Blessed Trinity last year.
Yeah, watching computers not charged, praying the battery makes it. Dennis Knight's here. He's got the stats for you, Kevin.
Okay. And now what do we have? Fair caught again.
Fair caught and then acted like they were running. Good friend Dennis Knight from the Savannah Morning News.
Want to take a stab at how many rushing yards in the first half for the Cadets? I have the official from Dennis Knight, who is
I'm
right
there.
I'm going to say
312.
308. 308 rushing yards by the Cadets in the first half. That will play.
That'll play. And Kevin, before anybody's like, well, that's what the guy standing on the sideline says. It's official. That's official Dennis Knight numbers right there.
Dennis Knight is running those 308 yards with them. Trips up top here for Central, as they will start from their own 26-yard line. This is going to be Harris in a pistol set. He'll drop straight back, looking, throws in a flat, and almost interception. Receiver fell down. Amari Burst was trying to come back on the football. He was looking for Simmons, and Burst got his hands on, couldn't just hang on.
Yeah, that was great man-to-man coverage right there from Amari Burst. And like really, really good job coming out of his break and playing the football and not the man.
308 rushing yards in the first half.
That'll work.
So 2nd down and 10. Cadets Joe blitz. Here's Harris on a play action. Looking, he'll throw it deep, has a man, and too far. Was running stride for stride with JoJo Sutton. And trying to see who he was looking for up that right side. Just tried to hit him deep and threw it too far.
And he had a step on JoJo, but it was going to be a tough completion. Just overshot him a little bit. And like we said, Kevin, they got to have some really big plays, a couple of busts maybe for BC to get back in this football game, but they certainly do not want to be living in 3rd and 10 after 2 incompletions and only taking 10
I was
seconds
distracted on that throw because LaDamian Guyton just annihilated the left tackle.
I'm about to say about 4 different guys.
He shoved him back about 3 yards.
Yeah, now they're going to be on an island because they're going empty.
And now what do we have?
Delay a game.
Timeout. Central, and you can see the Lions coaches just kind of throwing their hands up like, guys, we're coming out of the locker room. We got to execute. And it doesn't matter, Christian, if you're in week 1 or week 13, coaches are going to preach execution, and we got to know what the basics are of formations and things of that nature, protections.
Yeah, and if you're going to have a comeback down 33 points, you cannot be wasting timeouts in the first minute 13 of the 3rd quarter.
13 seconds.
Oh, my goodness. We got the Chumbawambas going too. When Kevin gets knocked down, he gets up again.
So trips up top, Twins down at the bottom. They're going to go empty set for Harris. No linebackers in the middle of the field for BC. Here's the snap. Harris looking. He'll throw it out in the flat. It's going to be caught and dropped. They were looking on a little quick inside route to Avery Tanner. JoJo Sutton was in coverage, and Tanner couldn't hang on to the football.
Yeah, and not a bad job from the offensive line standing up, but still pressure was getting there, and quarterback had to get the ball out of his hands early, but it wasn't going to be a first down either way.
So J.R. Harris he will punt it away here. 2 deep safeties for BC. They're going to get great field position. And that possession took 16 seconds. Cadets just ran somebody off the sideline. They're going to fake it. Oh, no. Now a running punt going to be fair caught at the 45. So good heads up by everybody on BC there. They looked like they were going to roll, and then Harris just on the run, dropped it and punted it.
Yeah, BC had punt safe on, and if he had thrown that football, it would have been a penalty because they had everybody downfield. But I think it was a high snap. In addition, with Guyton in his face right there, the quarterback/punter just booted to the side, and that was actually a really nice job to get that one away.
Well, Cole Schumann came running off the sideline as the ball was getting snapped. I don't think the official saw it.
Well, you can always add one. You just can't take them off if you have 12.
So here come the Cadets. First possession of the second half from their own 45. They'll go flex bone with Cannon under center. They'll give end around. This is Cole Henderson. Henderson jumps in the hole and takes a pop right there at the 49. Give him a gain of 4 on first down.
Now here's the question. What's the approach from BC here in the second half? Do you keep going fast and trying to make some chunk plays, or are you content just whittling this clock away?
Robert with the tackle for the line.
So 2nd down and 6. Cannon tells everybody to slow up. Still 14 on the play clock. Conaway comes in motion. He'll tight end to the right. Here's the snap. The give inside. This is Josh Washington. Oh, nice seam here to the right side. Makes the man miss and then got tripped up at the 43 of Carrollton, Central Carrollton, but it will be a first down. And BC Brothers moving will move the chains once again.
Yeah, Kevin, and I think you're seeing one of the adjustments here is Bubba Frazier's on the sideline, and no official word on an injury, but at this point of the season, everybody's got something, and you're up so big at halftime. Are you just saying, hey, we don't need number 4 out there right now? So you've seen Cole Henderson come in and take his spot.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cadets. Snap. Here's Cannon. He'll give it to Stanley Smart. Smart going to spin. He'll get flung forward for about a yard to the 41. I'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
So if you were a Notre Dame fan that tuned in tonight to hear about the two athletes, we apologize. One left on the 3rd series of the game with an injury, and the other one is going to, it seems, spend the rest of the game on the sideline.
They'll stack receivers each side of the formation for BC. Smart to the right of Stephen Cannon. Here's the snap. Stephen going to fling it out. This is caught by Mallard.
Good block,
He'll
Josh.
one-on-one, makes a man miss. Oh, makes another man miss with a jump cut. Inside the 30, still on his feet. Oh, my goodness. And if he could have kept his feet, that would have been a touchdown, but he got tripped up at the 24 and moved the chains. And Aaron Mallard looks like a PlayStation controller right now.
Yeah, first off, great job blocking from Josh Washington. Good ball from Stephen Cannon on the swing pass right there. And like I said, Aaron Mallard, Danny Britt said he could break away from you in a phone booth, and I think that's holding true.
So move the chains again. Clock rolls. Cadets with the football. Cannon takes the snap, looking. He'll throw to the back corner of the end zone and incomplete. And never really had a chance. Good coverage by the Lions up the left side on Josh Washington.
I was going to say some BC fans grumbling on that one because you had the DB kind of locked up with Josh, but I think both guys just kind of ran into each other.
Simmons in coverage for the Lions. 2nd down and 10 for the Cadets.
So BC will go 2nd and 10 from the Lions 24-yard line. And they'll go straight to a flex bone look. Cannon to give to Mallard. They'll try to, he should have been tackled for a loss and somehow turned that into a 6-yard gain. Christian Gokill off the left side.
Yeah, they had a guy kind of split the guard tackle right there, but Aaron able to just around him, took a little depth, and then really stuck his foot in the ground. And BC just eating that clock right now.
I'm sure that's part of the approach here. They'll go flex bone once again. Cannon, they'll run the toss sweep. Here to the near side. Stanley Smart cuts back inside the 20 and turned around, and they'll give him forward progress to the 16. It'll bring up 4th down and about 1. And if you're BC, in the name of clock, I would just go for it. And I think the Cadets are. Oh, they need 2. They need to get to the 14. They're at the 16.
Yeah, nothing else. You go hard count right here.
Looks like they've got trips up top. Twins here to the short side off the right hash. Cole Henderson goes in motion, and they tried to get him to jump. This might be a quarterback keeper. Just say if you get it. Nope, Danny Britt wants a timeout. I thought maybe they might just say if you get it, you get it. If you don't, we trust our defense to be that far back.
And
so
I think they probably still end up going for it here, but I like that timeout instead of trying to reload with 10 seconds left. Now you get a good play call in.
For 39 consecutive years.
Would you just go with that call? Let's Stephen make a read and go, or
2 yards. I like loading up Stephen Cannon in the shotgun and just letting him run to the outside, far side of the field, and just get some blockers out in front of him.
And if nothing else, burn 2 more minutes off the clock.
Yes, Cam Cody and Rasheem Jackson come in, add a little beef.
So you got a D tackle and a linebacker coming in.
We haven't seen the
might they go wishbone again?
That, or we haven't seen the Guyton Wildcat formation in a while.
I don't know if up 45-12 you want to be gambling with that, but
yeah. So Cam Cody and Rasheem Jackson will be 2 fullbacks.
Yeah, they're going to run a wishbone formation. My guess is Josh Washington's going to get this here.
Yeah, my guess is they're running behind 55.
So wishbone formation for BC. Josh Washington going to cut inside. There's a first down, and he'll make it down to the 11. BC Brothers moving. Will move the chains one more time, and more importantly, Christian, keeps that clock rolling.
And Cam Cody fired up, and everyone knew where the football was going, but you can't stop that dude going downhill. Ask the the offensive lineman; they've had plenty of trouble stopping him.
Now put the normal package back in there for the Cadets.
Big height advantage with Hall at the bottom of the field right here.
Empty set here for Cannon. They'll put Mallard in motion. Steven will give it to him. Aaron turns the corner. 5-4-3-2. Touchdown. Boy, he is so hard to bring down. And Aaron Mallard with a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cadets tack on some more. And that should be our Barnes Restaurant 50-piece celebration of their 50th anniversary. 50 pieces of chicken for $50. And the Cadets put 51 up on the board.
I like the adjustment there. Instead of just making that a full give, you kind of have Stephen Cannon ride like he's going to pull it. It keeps the linebackers in, and then Aaron able to bust that one to the outside.
Point after is up and good by Parker Lewis. It's 52-12. We'll step aside. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry here on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Quick update, Marist and North Oconee tied at 13. That game in the fourth quarter, and you said that's what are they, the Golden Eagles? That's the kind of game they want.
I was about to say, it's already in the fourth quarter. North Oconee's like, whoa. Where's that clock going?
We still have 7:27 to go. The Cadets here are up 40. And here's a pooch kick and a come down at the 23-yard line. Taken there. Poor tackling by the Cadets up the middle. Gets out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. On the return was Jake Ivester. And the Lions will take over out of the 37. You still got the starters out there on defense.
I would say I wouldn't be surprised if that lasted until the end of this quarter. And then you take that break to start slowly rotating in some guys.
On the 37-yard line.
If you're Carrollton, now you just got to air it out.
Let's see what the Lions decide to do. They have not stopped the Cadets all night long. 4 wides in the formation for the Lions. The snap to Harris, and he'll tuck it and take it himself, and up the middle have a first down. Tackle made by Wyatt Estabrook, having to come way down from his safety spot. Actually, that was Makai Williams. Had to come down from his safety spot, makes the tackle out near midfield at the Lions 49, but that's good enough for a first down.
Yeah, at that time, Kevin, good job stepping up in the pocket, avoid the pass rush, but you got to feel like BC's okay. If the quarterback scramble is how they're going to pick up yards, that's fine. Just nothing deep over the top.
We call that the Go Kell defense. Nothing cheap, nothing deep.
Nothing cheap, nothing deep.
Here's Harris, a little play action, looking over the middle, has a man caught, and Wyatt Estabrook brought the lumber that time and brought him down at the 35 of BC as soon as he caught the football, but that'll be a first down.
And a good job by their offensive line holding up. That was a long developing play on the deep dig route, and BC's linebackers got to be a little bit more disciplined, kind of just got lost in space there, but yeah, Wyatt Estabrook stepped up and delivered a big hit right there, but still 2 plays, 2 first downs.
Looks like Larson Little is out of the ball game. We got Rasheen Jackson in there. Play action from Harris, and Rasheen Jackson almost had him. Now he's running away from Big Cam Cody, and he's like, I'm just going to throw it away.
I think what happened there, Kevin, was, Rasheen came free, but so did Cam Cody, and the quarterback actually ended up getting sandwiched between the two. Rasheen bounced off of him, and then the quarterback was like, physics, and kept running. So, I mean, ribs probably hurt, but avoided about a 9-yard loss.
I think you got Cole Schumann Houston and Rasheen Jackson in at linebacker. And again, another one of those things I think you kind of slowly, series by series, take a guy out. And here's Harris looking over the middle, throws it high and incomplete. If he doesn't put a hand on it, he was looking for number 10, Simmons. If he doesn't, Wyatt Estabrook playing deep safety was going to pick that off.
Yeah, almost a great one-handed catch, but also, Kevin, he had to get rid of it early and throwing off his back foot because Guyton came free up the middle.
So, yeah, I think a couple of key guys are going to start sliding out here for the Cadets. Looks like Larson Little's night might be done. I think we both kind of assume Bubba Frazier's done for the night.
Say so.
Here's the snap, a little inside screen underneath, going to be caught. This is Walton. Oh, and he just absolutely got laid out by Rasheen Jackson. Also, you got Aaron Mallard in there playing in the defensive backfield. Looks like the Cadets may be going with 3 safeties here, and that's not what you want to see as your star
stinger going on.
Star playmaker on offense. Start shaking the shoulder there on the far side. See if you can't find another DB over there. Again, no Jonathan Black tonight. JoJo Sutton apparently not on the field at the moment.
Yeah, he's still shaking that arm
out.
out.
He is inside in the slot. Here's the snap to Harris. Harris going to face a blitz, spins out of a couple of tacklers, throws back here to the near side. Ball is up, tipped, and knocked away. JoJo Sutton at the goal line knocks it away.
And he had a guy that got behind the defense. Amari was kind of looking at the quarterback,
and that was 4th down.
Yeah, JoJo Sutton did a great job of throwing his hand up and blowing that up. But Kevin, up 45 minutes left. Like I said, I think you're going to start seeing more and more guys.
And Mallard, hopefully that's just a stinger. He keeps shaking that right arm.
He laid the lumber for sure.
And if he's doing that right by Danny Britt might say, young man, you're not going back in.
Yeah.
We need you next week.
You've done your work.
So Cannon will come in. We got a couple of new faces out there on offense, I believe. And Cannon will go under center. He'll give it. This will be Cole Henderson off the left side. There goes Cole. He breaks it. Tackle 40, 45, 50. At the 40, the 35, 30, 25, 15. Look at Cole Henderson go. Touchdown. 63 yards. Cole Henderson. And that's got to put the Cadets close to 400 on the ground tonight. And tack on another 6. That'll be 58-12.
Yeah, just a sweep, and it's the play BC runs all the time, but he did a good job cleaning his cleats right there. Found the hole, hit it, and, man, when he got into the open field, he turned on the burners. And he's had a good game tonight. He's had some really good blocks, has made some plays when he's got the ball in his hands, and then that time, like I said, showed off the speed.
So now the point after for Parker Lewis is right up in there and good. 59-12, Christian Gokel.
Don't think we saw this one coming. And got to be over 400 yards now on the ground, do the Cadets. That's unbelievable.
Benedictine Military School has the #1 boys athletic program in the greater Savannah area.
So Cadets continue to pile it on. And Christian, we talked about playoff rules and things of that nature, maybe running clock in the 4th quarter only in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I can't imagine either coach would
put up any objection to that.
Yeah. And for Central, it's kind of a bitter end to what was a dream season for them. Saw the send-off they gave their guys, huge Thanksgiving meal before the guys drove out here last night. But
a lot of sophomores and juniors making plays for them out there on the field this year. So I feel like they're going to have a pretty solid 2026 waiting for them down the road.
Right, and it's got to stink too. They're like, man, we're undefeated and we have to hit the road in the quarterfinals, but such are the rules. I think that'll be different next year because everything will be power ranked out.
There won't be any more coin flips because it'll be 1 through 32, and if you got the lower number, you get to be at home. Here's a pooch kick. That'll be fair caught at the 32-yard line, and that's where the Lions will take over with 5:06 to go here in the 3rd.
Fair catch made by Bass.
Still got a number of starters out there on defense, Christian. And I know you said you might just wait for the quarter to run out, but
I think it's just going to be a few at a time. Like Cam Cody not in the football game.
You got some guys getting some pretty good playing time here in the quarterfinals. Who's that going to be out there? That's going to be Carson Granger.
Yep.
Number 70, who I know they're really excited about.
Yeah, and Rasheen Jackson's still in there for Larson Little. But outside of that,
now we're going to have a change.
Yep.
Mackay's coming out. This is going to be Landon Harris.
And he's played a good amount of snaps this season.
So about half and half. First and second teamers out there. Here's the snap, Harris. Oh, they recognized the screen early, and there's a nice open field tackle. Amari Burst going to throw him down for a loss. Back at the 31, a loss of 1 will be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, some fans wanted a horse collar tackle on that, but Amari just grabbed the stretchy jersey and held onto it, slung him down. That was really good recognition. I think we're probably going to see the last of JoJo Sutton. He's been battling a lower body injury and kind of hobbles off.
That's Damari Perry, who I know they're really excited about, Christian.
So he's a stud, and you talk about guys that can absolutely fly.
In just a 9th grade, going to be out there playing some corner the rest of this game. Might be one of those two-way guys you see down the road for BC. Harris on 2nd and 11. Looking. He's going to have to avoid the rush. Gavin Smith giving chase, throws it underneath and caught. And Schumann going to tackle him right at the sticks, but I think that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Gavin Smith came free on a rush again, and Schumann just bought time, and able to get it to the running back. But nice job by Perry on his first snap, getting in there, sticking his nose in, and helping out on the tackle.
J.R. Harris, just a junior at quarterback. Again, done a nice job decision-making when he's had time. And it's 1st and 10 here for the Lions from their own 43. They'll give it straight ahead, and Jalen Houston just laid out the running back. And again, they are without Jonas Walton, the Notre Dame commit who left after the 3rd series.
And that time, a really good job by Gavin Smith, just setting the edge right there and creating a pile. Guyton got there, and then Houston cleaned it up.
I believe this is Chase Buchanan, who's come in at running back, a young freshman for the Lions. And they'll give it to him one more time. Nope, they'll play action, throw it out in the flat, going to be caught. And that's going to be just says Walton. He'll get into BC territory, and they'll call the play dead at the 49, make it the 48. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, good job by Harris that time, stepping up to make the tackle from a safety position and forcing that 3rd down, because it looked like he was going to be able to walk for a first down, but safety support, big. And now they're going to take Wyatt Estabrook out, Hall in. Nope, I lied. That's Kyrie Richards at the other safety spot.
So here's the snap. Harris looking, throws short, incomplete. He was looking for Walton underneath, and he had Rasheen Jackson out there in the flat in coverage.
Yeah, LaDainian Guyton was bending the edge on that one, and he knows this is probably his last opportunity to get a sack. So he's trying to make it happen.
4th down and 1, and the Lions are going to go for this.
And you've completely replaced your secondary now. Still have 3 starters on the defensive line, 2 starters and a linebacker.
A lot of young guys, though, in a big postseason snap. Harris rolls to his right. He'll throw it deep up the right side and incomplete. And
good
they pick
coverage.
Who was that in coverage?
Harris, I think. Landon Harris in coverage.
Yep, number 28. And again, don't think that these aren't big snaps for Galen Houston's defense, and say, hey, this could be you next year, next week, if depending on how things go.
And we talk about it all the time, Kevin. Just when you come to BC, you're basically playing an extra 2 seasons by the time you get done with 4, because you're playing 4 or 5 games in the playoffs one year, 4 or 5 games in the playoffs next year. You're getting so many more reps and so many more snaps than other players get in their high school careers.
So Cannon and the offense takes over. A little counter tray. Back inside, there goes Heron Mallard. He's got wide open spaces. And inside the 30 down to the 29. Give him a gain, and a flag comes flying in late. Give him a gain of about 20 there on first down, and the BC Brothers moving the chains first down.
And Kevin hitting the Chicks reference right there.
Marist and North Oconee 20-20 in the fourth quarter. Dead ball personal foul against BC, so that'll go after the play. Should still be a first down.
Personal foul called on the Cadets.
This is how I know my fiance has been watching too much high school football this year. She just hit me with a text. Is it a running clock?
First and 10.
Not yet. So first and 10 from the Lions 44. Cannon out of a shotgun. 4 wide receivers. And I think they're going to try to wind the clock down as much as possible here on every play. Here's the snap to give. They'll feed out in the flat actually to Cole Henderson, and he'll get down to the 35, very close to a first down. Give him 9 on the little flare out there to Cole Henderson.
Yeah, and Hall doing a good job blocking his man, holding up in coverage right there. And it's technique. The guy wants to lean back and get away from you. You got to turn him with, you can't let your hands get outside on the shoulder pads. That's really good job.
They marked him short on the field and then gave him the first down at the 34. Did not have the 34. Here's the snap. They'll go straight ahead. This is Stanley Smart. And Stanley will get down to the 27-yard line. Give Stanley 8 big yards on first down. This is truly unbelievable, Christian. It's just 7-8 yards all night long.
Yeah, I think that was a little curtain call there for Stanley Smart. His night probably over as they put in a backup running back.
You got Josh Washington in there. And another young man, Chris Stokes, that they are really excited about coming in at runabout.
Stokes. Feel like he's a pure running back that they're going to be able to use in a lot of different ways.
So Stokes offset of Stephen Cannon. They'll give it to Stokes. He goes straight ahead, makes a man miss at the 20, still fighting at the 15, still on his feet, runs a man over at the 10, still pushing, still driving, 5, 4, 3, keep pushing, keep driving, 2, 1, touchdown, Chris Stokes!
My goodness.
Could that be the run of the year for the young freshman? What a run.
I mean, Kevin, he was wrapped up at the 11.
He's a sophomore, sorry, but still.
But still, just kept those legs churning. Their big legs kept him churning, blowing through guys, and then had the offensive line get there and help escort him the rest of the way in there. But, man, talk about fresh legs. That'll work.
We don't have a sponsor for a 60-piece, but the Cadets have 65.
I'm sure Barnes will throw in a few there for you.
65-12, and I think the folks from Carrollton are in a little bit of shock. It's been normally the other way around all season long, and it's 65-12. We're still in the third quarter, make it 66-12 with the Parker Lewis point after. And I would be willing to bet that clock's going to roll in the fourth quarter big time.
And again, it's just one of those situations where if you haven't been to a big-time hostile environment on the road, this is a really tough time of the year to do it. And, again, Central went out, played the schedule that they had in front of them and dominated, but BC, just with that experience against some of the top teams in the state, paying big dividends right now. And we got to be getting – I might be getting crazy, but close to 500 yards on the ground.
I don't think that's great. That was another 30 from Chris Stokes. And just a sophomore, he figures to be probably heavily in the mix to get touches next season for the Cadets.
I would say so.
So John Brenton will kick it off. I think he's developed turf toe. He's kicked so much tonight.
He's fine. He does that for a living.
I think they've been content to kind of hang it up on the kickoffs, and they'll do that again. This one's going to hang up fair caught at the 35, 36-yard line. And so Central going to get great field position there. Not sure. We have a man down. Don't know why.
I think he's trying to make a break and just kind of rolled the ankle a little bit, but his teammates are going to help him off. Hey, he's good.
He looks like he's all right. Hey, it's cold. You get on
cold.
the turf. And you're we said at halftime, we feel like it leveled off. I think as fans have left the stadium, it's gotten a few degrees colder. And again, a good contingent of BC fans still here, but a lot have said, I'm going to go huddle around a fire.
So we're going back to the Washington tailgate.
Yes.
Save us some ribs. I think full changes defensively now.
Yeah, looks like everybody is trying to scan the field. Jameer Lee is still out there, but he might be the only one.
Yeah, Caden Thomas in for Guyton.
And here's the snap to Harris, and a flag comes in.
Left tackle got started early on that one. I mean, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, that's not a flag. That's just your left tackle knowing the snap.
So they'll mark that off against the Lions. 1st and 15, final 30 seconds of the third quarter. And then we expect a 12-minute fourth quarter, most likely. And my guess would be if it's continuously running, BC will be in no hurry. They could probably pick up just a couple of first downs and call it a night. Here's Harris on a drop. Looking. Thomas got back there. They throw it underneath. It's caught. And a nice open field stick, but he breaks out of it, still on his feet. He's going to break it for a touchdown. And that will drive you crazy in the film study. You get your second unit guys in there, Christian. You make a stick. You don't wrap up. You don't tackle. And the guy springs it for a 67-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and that time Perry did a good job of reading it, got there, hit, but then everybody else was like, okay, cool, he's got it. Nobody was flying to the football. I think that'll be the teach tape for Danny Britton and his staff when they go back to watch this tape on Monday is, hey, you got to get there and help your guy out and wrap up. And that time, if you've got the frame on there, probably only 4 or 5 white helmets in this picture. You need 11.
That's 2 really big scoring plays they've allowed tonight.
There's bad tackling on both of them.
Lions will go for 2. And here's the snap. Looking, they'll throw to the back corner, have a man, and it's incomplete. He wasn't open.
Yeah, that was a good play design. You run 2 guys from the outside on slant routes, and you wheel it or behind them, and you had it there, but it's a little far.
So the 2-point conversion, no good. It's 66-18.
And now staff having to find 11 guys for the kickoff unit. Now this can get dangerous.
Again, this is one where you find out how guys react. It's like, hey, we know you don't get the most reps in practice, but you get reps. You should know what to do. And how do guys react when the lights come on, even if it's 66-18, you're still out there to make a play. And Cadets will send. It was that Dontre Ford and Damari Perry back deep.
This is the rhythm of the night, Kevin. Is this on the warm-up playlist for you?
Yeah.
Just AC/DC and Burl Haggard.
I'll take Ring of Fire tonight.
I'll tell you this, because you and I both radio guys. Oh, little onside.
Little onside kick. Cadets are ready for it. The ball is loose. Did they get it back? I think 2 cadets came out of there with it.
They did a little muddle huddle around the ball and went for the onside, and BC
that was
ready
Caden
for
Thomas who came out of there with it.
Good job from the backups.
And so now the question is, do you just skip over Amari Burris and go straight to Thomas Brennan? Yes, you do. So Thomas Brennan, the 3rd-string quarterback, going to get some reps here.
Yeah, with Jonathan Black out, Amari played every snap on defense, and you just cannot afford to lose him. And Thomas Brennan, no stranger to scoring points himself.
They'll give it here on the end around, and maybe a yard to the 46 was Dontre Ford. And he's going to have to come out. He lost his helmet. And they'll put Damari Perry in. Really an embarrassment of riches when you see Dontre Ford and Chris Stokes and Damari Perry. Rather, it's
right.
They can all fly. And that'll do it for the third quarter. 66-18. We got 12 minutes left here in the third round. Cadets well on their way to a semifinal matchup. It says BC football, presented by Cash and Carry.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. Sapelo Straw Company. With Sapelo Pine Straw, you can expect fresh, clean pine straw, fast and reliable service, and a beautifully finished yard. We take pride in neat professional work. Call 912-254-1009 or look for us online at sapelostraw.co.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium, 12 minutes to go. We imagine there will be a running clock once we get things going. Thomas Brennan, they give him an empty set here on first down. 5 wides in the formation for Brennan. He'll take the snap. He'll give it. This is Stuart Dunn working near side. Going to turn the corner of the 50, 45, 40, turning 35, 30. There goes Stuart Dunn, 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds. Stuart Dunn for 45 yards up the left side. We got to be getting close to 500 yards rushing.
You got to give these guys credit that have come in and said, hey, we're only going to get a few touches here. We're going to try to take advantage of it.
I'm going to ask Danny Britt. Can't be sure, but I think you and I might be able to get a carry before this one's over. Cartersville beat Christian Kell Longhorns tonight. Longhorn season is done.
Stockyard couldn't come through.
They're on the other side of the 4A bracket. Cadets go flex bone. They'll go straight ahead. That is Stokes inside the 10 down to the 9. Clock continues to roll.
Stokes carries for 2 yards. Second down and 8.
Yeah, Creekside continues to roll. They're up 35-7 over Lithonia right now.
And again, that's the other side. So that will be Cartersville and Creekside in one semifinal.
Big one.
And we're going to have a big one right here in Savannah next week.
For a chance to go
BC against whoever wants to win that North Oconee Marist game. Here's Stokes inside at the 5, still crawling literally down to the 4-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and about 2.
Yeah, he runs hard, man. Every yard fighting for it. And you know these young guys want to score.
And the Cadets just continue gashing 4 or 5 yards a carry. I don't know the full 100 years of BC football, but
I don't know there's been many.
I can't imagine there's been this many dominations on the ground like this one. Here's Brennan. He's going to keep it himself. He'll run power here to the near side. Thomas Brennan lowers the shoulder. He's going to get driven into the turf, but I think he got the first down, or he's going to be very close.
Brennan with the carry for 1 yard.
I mean, I'm laughing because my man sold out his body to pick up that first down. And you're up.
Hey, I want to score a playoff touchdown.
I was going to say you're up almost 50 points, and these guys are still out there just giving it everything.
They're going to go for this. They need a yard. Everybody in tight on the flex bone. Brennan under center.
Oh, hard count.
He just hard count him? Danny Britt's going to take a timeout, I think. Yep, he does. I think this is the point of the game where Danny Britt's also like, are you going to go for this? Are you just going to kick the field goal? Are you going to take a knee? What are you going to do? The clock will stop on the timeout.
I think they're going to go, but again, just after that hard count play, hard to reset and have time remaining. It's not like college where you have the headset where you can just talk to the quarterback.
And this is one of those where I think if you ask Danny Britt, it's like you can't tell these guys who get their heads kicked around by the starters every Friday night, hey, you're down there, just fall down. And again, it's not like they're airing it out. They're running ISOs and things like that. But Christian, if if you take this game plan into next week and it's Marist, that game could be over in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think Marist will be looking at this one like, cool, we know how to do that too.
But I think kind of the beauty of A.J. DePhillips' offense is that you can do this, but given the matchup, you can also throw it for 400 yards and not look uncomfortable doing it.
100%. And we've seen BC do that before. Like against Ware County, against Perry, it was through the air where you really dominated.
So out of the timeout, it'll be 4th and 1 for BC from the 2.5-yard line. Brennan's going to go under center. He'll give it straight ahead to Stokes. He walks right in untouched. So Chris Stokes with another touchdown. And the Cadets continue to roll. And we don't have a rolling clock, apparently. They stopped it with 9:03.
I want to say it's any time a score or a possession change happens.
Maybe in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I know in times we've seen a minute or two roll off just on the extra point. Cadets trying to hustle some guys in late on the offensive line on this kick. And Parker Lewis will try to give the Cadets 73 points. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So Parker Lewis, he's been a busy man tonight, and it's 73-18.
Again, don't know that anybody saw this one coming. BC was favored in the football game, but just the fact it's so lopsided, not necessarily on the scoreboard, but on the rushing statistics. BC, we heard all week about, hey, they're coming down. They got the Notre Dame committed running back. They're going to run the ball 57% of the time. BC's kind of at that 50-50 split, like to throw the football a lot. BC has come out and said, hey, we know how to do this too. And the running game, I think, is something where if BC is able to go on and accomplish the goals that they have set at the beginning of the year, this could be a pivotal moment because they look dynamic running the football right now.
So John Britton to kick it off again. A.J. DePhillips said, I've done enough. He's taking the bag and heading down to the sideline. As he works in the booth next to us, do you think we go grab some heat real quick? I know they'll never say there's perfection, but I don't think he called too many the way he didn't like them tonight. Fair catch at the 32 on the kickoff. But that was peak execution tonight by the Cadet offense.
Yeah, and like we said, east, west, north, south, left, right, up, down. BC could run the football however they wanted to all night. And
still haven't punted.
Yeah, it's true.
Trying to think how many guys have a rushing touchdown.
Stanley's got one. Steven's got a few. Aaron's got a few.
Cole Henderson's
got one.
Stokes.
Oh, now the clock's still going.
10 Lions at the 32-yard line.
So now we're back into the running clock. This will be Harris. They still got their starters out there.
I mean, why not?
Oh, they're going to run a little razzle-dazzle down a lot, and they're going to go a long way for a touchdown. And don't think Danny Britt probably didn't take note of that. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one get aired out here. So they ran a little razzle-dazzle reverse, and it goes 67 yards for a touchdown. And that's one of those, Christian, I know BC just scored, but I think it's also one of those where if you're going to get onto a team, say, hey, you're running up the score, well, you're obviously still trying.
Yeah,
so
100%.
If you're still trying, I'm still trying.
Yeah, if they gap you up the middle on a zone play, that's one thing, but hitting the trick play reverse on the backups.
Lions will go for 2, and they'll play action and throw it into the end zone. That'll give them 20. Now we have a flag on the play. As I say, that would give them a chance to crawl back within 50. Ineligible downfield against.
Yeah, I think the tight end
the
who
Lions.
caught the ball on the boot was covered up.
So they'll have to do it again.
Yeah, Kevin, it's one of those things, like you said, it's, hey, if you want to go out there and pass and you want to go out there and run the football, that's one thing, but hitting the double reverse on the backups when you're down 50. That's a tough look.
So they move the ball back to the 8-yard line, and we'll do this again, going for 2. 73-24 our score. Cadets showing blitz. Here they come, all out, rolling, throwing to the end zone, and caught anyways for the 2-point conversion. So they just gave them 2 extra points. Am I wrong? There you go. Now they fixed it. 73-26.
And now, Kevin, you got to watch out for the onside because they're probably going to try it again. But I don't know if you get the football back if they're going to be able to touch it again. A couple first downs with the running clock.
I mean, you have absolutely dominated this football game. And I would imagine it looks like A.J. DePhillips has turned over play calling.
Yeah, Coach Collins is going to call the rest of the plays. And it's very apt because he's also the head coach of the C team. And the guys that are out there playing offense right now are the guys he calls the plays for.
Cadets certainly think this is going to be an onside. They don't have anybody really very deep. And they'll kind of muddle up there to the 45. They've got Jack Cannon, number 35. He's back deep. And they're going to do it again, and BC on it. And somebody was offside.
I think BC will decline it.
Now, the Cadets should have the football. Somebody fell on it. Who was it? Number 40. It's going to be Will Clark came up with the football. I think Danny Britt's like, can we just take the football? They're going to make them all go back out there again.
Yeah, I think it's a dead ball foul on offsides, so the play didn't count, which if you're Central, you don't hate that.
Now it looks like they might try a more traditional onside kick. The way they're setting up. And BC's got nobody outside of the
BC
hash.
Got to spread out now. There you go.
Yeah, now they're going to adjust. Well, now they got nobody here to the near side if they kick it back the other way. And they'll try to pooch it over their heads. Going to be picked up and ran across the 40, 45, and then they go the other way. This has turned into a track meet, 30, 20, and shoved out of bounds. I believe that was Dontre Ford who scooped it up and got it back inside the red zone.
Yeah, so if y'all want to play that game, that's fine.
We went to an Elite 8 game and a basketball contest broke out.
Yeah, and if you're going to do our defense like that, we're going to try to get our licks back.
A.J. DePhillips is out there in the huddle with Coach Collins, so you know he wants to see these guys execute. Full second team offensive line out there as well. Finn Kelly, a sophomore in there at center. We'll try to give you some of these other guys out there on the offense. Here's Thomas Brennan, puts a man in motion. They'll give it to him. This is Dunn trying to work near side. Stewart going to run 20-15, lowers the boom at the 14, and out of bounds they go. Clock will continue to roll here.
6 yards there.
Do you dare let Thomas Brennan throw it after that reverse?
After the reverse, maybe. Try to put a nice 80 bomb on him.
But the Cadets got 6 yards on that play, so even with this backup unit, they continue to just wear them out.
Yeah, it's pounding the
along
edges.
the line of scrimmage. Oh, they fumbled the football, picked it up. Stokes going to still get the first down, and Moore shoved out of bounds at the 9.
I just say,
so
fortunate bounce.
Bounced right back up to him and got 7 yards and a first down.
Yeah, I mean, the little counter, you fake the jet sweep, come back underneath the Stokes, and the ball bounces off at the ground. And Kevin, for the interested folks at home who maybe aren't watching, Texas in the third quarter is just taking a 12, soon to be 13-10 lead over Texas A&M. Of course, with a Texas or A&M loss or a Alabama loss, Georgia in the SEC championship.
Brennan will go under center. They'll fake the end around, come back near side. That's going to be a touchdown. Another 8 yards, and that's going to be off the legs of Dontre Ford. And that's going to be an 80 piece with this extra point by Thomas Brennan. And again, they scored in about a minute and a half. And again, you
all
think,
on the ground, nothing fancy, just a little counter play from the flex bone.
will we see another reverse from Central of Carrollton on the? I mean,
I don't know.
And the point after, Parker Lewis puts it right through there, 80-26. I don't know what the all-time points for a cadet football team is, but this has got to be getting up there pretty close.
Up there, and not the first time we've seen this kind of domination from the cadets. Warner Robbins, Wayne in the stadium, but in the playoffs, Elite Eight. This was so surprising to everyone, but
and Christian, even with the backups, you're averaging 7-8 yards a tote here.
Yeah, with a running clock in the fourth quarter, you put up 80 points. And I think number one, whether it's North Oconee or Marist, on the sheet is going to be stop the run.
Clock is rolling now at 5.5 minutes as we await the kickoff from John Britton. I think with an 80 piece, the refs are cold as well.
And if you're Central, are you just like, okay, maybe let's just run this out now?
The cadets are probably willing to even give you a first down or two. But you know, Coach Britt's going to compete to the end. And if you're, again, I say it, if you're trying, they were trying. That one's going to be fair caught at the 21. So we don't care if you throw on us, but we're going to try to score in 2 minutes if you do. And again, now the clock continues to roll and change of possession. And let's see if the schematic changes. And Avery Tanner, the one who ran that reverse last time, a senior. So I don't know if it was, hey, we're going to give you a tote in your last football game or what that was. But they still got the starting unit out there, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, I think they're just going to ride with those guys. A lot of these guys' last chance to play football.
So Harris out of a pistol. You're going to give it to Walton, who comes here to the near side, and that's a big man, and he's going to run loose, and open field tackle made out near midfield.
Just not a lot of resistance up front from the cadets' defensive line, and there's just gaping holes.
That was Richards with the tackle.
Yeah, he comes off the field holding that wrist. That's a big dude to try to bring down.
It says 200. There's not a chance. But he gets a full head of steam against some of these guys, and there's an over the middle pass to the tight end. That's going to be a first down at the 20.
You see AJ DePhillips kind of shaking his head a little bit, saying, all right, if you guys are going to keep doing that, we're going to try to put 87 on the board.
Tackle was made by Ben Kleinpeter. Clock rolls at 3:18. Now the question is, do you call timeout if they score to get the ball back? Because, again, a running clock would keep running until they kick the ball off. Little double move, pump fake back shoulder, touchdown. And they throw it into the end zone. And, again, I think interesting to see what Danny Britt has to say about that. You're in a running clock situation. And you're kind of stat padding up against the second team here.
Yeah. I had 3 touchdowns in the
Yeah.
playoffs. If I know Coach Britt, the Cadets probably sit on this football.
80-32. And the Lions will go for 2.
Wasn't that close.
And a flag. That's what we need with 2:57 left. Offsides against BC.
He's lined up offsides.
That's called for offside.
So that'll move it ahead 3 feet. So Harris, and they'll play action, throw it in the dirt, had some pressure. That was Kleinpeter who came right up the middle, or was that Caden Thomas rather? Caden Thomas provided the pressure, and they throw it away, incomplete. 80-32. And I would imagine they're going to onside kick again.
And again, we are not faulting Central for trying to score, but just understand when and if you do, if the other team scores another touchdown on you again, it's just kind of what you asked for.
Yeah.
I understand these guys want to come up, play the last few snaps, throw around to their buddies, but
again, that was a play action, kind of what BC did early in the game, where you play action to the running back and the tight end's just running right down the middle of the
and
field.
it's plays you didn't run against the starting unit that you feel now confident that you can run against the backups.
So an onside kick upcoming. Down 48. And they'll kind of pooch it over the top. Here's caught at the 30 and across the 40 to the 42 on that return. Trying to see who got that one. Is that Noah Harris? Maybe? And so now BC with 2 minutes, clock is rolling.
And play clock hasn't even started yet.
BC offense is just standing here on the side.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything until the play clock starts.
And the ref now he starts it.
And yeah, maybe you have to run 2 plays here.
As a reminder, the GHSA prohibits fans.
Let's see if they kneel on it, if they actually run some offense here. It's not victory formation. Maybe it is. Yep. Cadets will kneel on it. And I think Danny Britt's just ready for it to be over. He's got the hands on the hips and say, all right. And they kneel on it. I think the only worst thing that can happen now is if you call timeout. And we start to see some of the handshakes. Play clock at 35. They might have to kneel on it one more time. They're going to wait for this to get under 40 seconds.
Yeah, unbelievable season from Central. Really, really talented football team. Bunch of guys we're going to be seeing play on Saturdays going forward, but they just ran into a team in BC whose defense has really hit its stride the last half of the season and whose offense is just can beat you in so many different ways. Just ran into a team that's playing their best football late in the playoffs.
Thomas Brennan will go under center now that we're at 39 seconds. He'll take one more snap. He'll put a knee to it, and everybody will go line up at midfield. And the Cadets, Christian Gokel, going to the semifinals. Will it be North Oconee? Will it be Marist? They're still trying to figure that out.
Yep.
But tonight, a behemoth on the ground, 300 yards in the first half, probably close to 500 yards rushing in the ball game tonight. Christian and Cadets going on to the semifinals.
Yeah, Kevin, just domination on the ground. Be curious to get the official stats, but feel like it was close to 500 yards on the ground for BC, and it was just decimating them on the edge the entire game. And great play, great game plan there from AJ DePhillips coming into this one, and just really strong job by the defense. It was that first quarter, BC goes up 21-0. Defense giving the football back to the offense. Some long returns, setting up the offense as well, but just able to execute tonight, find their way into the end zone. And, man, a lot of guys with a lot of crazy stat sheets out there tonight.
And, again, AJ DePhillips, the kiddos like to say he's in his bag tonight, but, I mean, whatever he dialed up, it was working in a big, big way.
Yeah, and, again, last week was almost as good of a play-calling game as this week. It's just what is the defense and what is the other team dictating to you? And your defense played so well last week that, hey, you just kind of played ground and ball control and kept them at arm's distance, got away with a win last week against Cass. This week, you were able to figure it out, saw the jabs up the middle to start with Stanley Smart, and then once they consolidated inside and were stuffing you between the tackles, you went off tackles, you were pulling guards, you were going through pin and pulls, a bunch of counters in there as well, jet sweeps, just emptied the arsenal of run plays tonight against this team, and they just had no answer. And I just think he did such a good job of keeping them defensively off balance, didn't know what was coming at them at any given moment. And again, flipping it over, I know you're going to see 32 points, but really just 12 points kind of in the run of play tonight before you started putting backups and defense with another stellar performance.
Certainly, we are moving on to the semifinals, and we are also moving on to the attorney, Jonathan Dunn, post-game show. We'll have our Cool Vibes Pizza Player of the Game. We'll also have our weekly chat with Danny Britt after the ball game tonight. They put up an 80-piece tonight on the scoreboard. Jonathan Dunn post-game show right around the corner. This is Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back to the attorney, Jonathan Dunn, post-game show. Christian Gokel as Marist will be here next week. Yep. We found out during the break they kicked a field goal at the buzzer to beat North Oconee, who had not lost here in 2025. So 2 undefeated teams on this side of the bracket go down, and it will be Marist and their triple option coming to play BC and their triple option. Now, after tonight, maybe be what it is. But 2 teams that this week ran a football, and BC tonight probably close to 500 yards on the ground, 80 points. Unbelievable performance.
Yeah, the more football evolves and you get the RPO going into it and spread formations, 2 things remain constant. If you can run the football and you can stop people defensively from running the football, you're probably going to win the football game, and that's exactly what BC did tonight. Been dominating on the defensive front all year and then had a probably school-wise historic night on the ground in the Cadets. So really hitting their stride at the right time, and next week's game might take an hour and a half.
It very well could. And Christian, tonight, you look at the score, gave up 32 points, not indicative. This game, for all intents and purposes, was done after the first quarter. I think 28-7 or 28-6 at the end of the first quarter. BC was up big.
Yeah, and like we said, they ended up putting 32 up on the board tonight, but a lot of that was against the backups. The reality is, outside of Buford, no one's broken 30 against the Cadets all season long. So when you saw them put 28 up that quickly, that looked like an insurmountable mountain for Central to climb right there. And it's just how good this defense has been all year. They've kind of been leading the way, but it's so funny to say that with as talented as this offense is. So BC proving they're a really tough out.
Christian, a number of ways we can go tonight with our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. I think you and I almost had a carry tonight, but where are you going? Where are you starting tonight? Because offensively, defensively, when it probably actually mattered in the first half, I mean, it was 22 guys getting after it.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody had a game where they're going to get graded out less than an A- probably today for this one, but I think it's got to be Aaron Mallard for the Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. Special teams-wise was unbelievable. Should have had a kickoff return for a touchdown that called back for ticky-tacky.
Right.
I would say would still set you up in plus territory inside their 40-yard line, and then was just unstoppable offensively. And then we saw him come in and play a little bit of defense there as well. Had a big hit on that one as well, but just offensively, he was the game breaker tonight. And I think maybe more importantly, Bubba Frazier, seems like just the way they played him tonight might be a little bit banged up. He stepped into that role tonight and really flourished.
And again, a game that I think if you laid it out, went how you would want it to go. Didn't need to play him that much. Had a couple of guys that were nursing some injuries this week. Didn't have to play them. Didn't come down to needing to play them. You were missing Jonathan Black. Don't know if he could play next week, but another week off might be a possibility. And again, you'd love to have him back because Marist wants to run the football.
Do you need a corner next week?
Just play a whole bunch of linemen and get after it. and crashed into football. But yeah, that's going to be setting up for an epic game coming up next week. But again, Aaron Mallard continues to impress. And for all of the, hey, it's been Bubba Frazier, and we always ask this, Christian, for as long as you and I have been here with the cadets, it's you kind of see who's coming in the pipeline. And, you know, at one point it was Bubba Frazier's going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Mallard's going to be the next guy. And he may already be, you know, number 2, but boy, he has really played well the later he has gotten in this season. And not only has he played well in run support, running the football, but the moves, the agility, the lateral movement, the spin moves, the ability to drive through tackles. He's kind of shown a little bit of everything in the arsenal there.
Yeah, you know about the speed, and that's what the most devastating aspect of him is, but he's also so strong, and we've seen that more and more. But I think maybe the most, I guess, not talked about trait is just the ability to hit full speed out of a break. I mean, you'll see him, he'll be coming right, then cut all the way back left, and there's never a break in the speed, and that's just what's so devastating defensively when you're trying to bring him down. So, yeah, you mentioned it. You're like, man, how do you replace a guy like Zaquan Bryan, and then Bryce Baker is right there, and then how do you replace a guy like Bryce Baker, and then Bubba Frazier's right there, and then PC just keeps rolling them out. Oh, by the way, you still have Josh Washington on the field having a heck of a game tonight. Stanley Smart was running like his hair was on fire tonight, and was just what I love with a good running back is he never goes down easy, and he's always delivering a hit at the end of a run. So Stanley Smart played unbelievable tonight, but I think Aaron Mallard, like I said, just really kind of shined out on the field.
Danny Britt's making his way up here to the press box. We'll give him a second to make that long walk up and over and catch his breath back over here. But Christian, obviously tonight, I'm sure he'll point out some bad things that happened. Obviously, the huge plays, that's been an issue at times throughout the season. He'll say, I don't care if the second team's out there. You can't let a guy take it 70 yards. But other than that, I don't know what he's going to find fault with. But it's semifinals. I think that's got your attention. But if these guys know anything about Georgia high school football, buddy, it's Marist.
Yeah.
They are, if you say high school football in Georgia, they might be Valdosta Marist in terms of tradition, winning, continue, and they've been running the same offense for 50 years, and they know what they're doing, and they do it well.
Yeah, I mean, they're got a pretty successful guy, I'd say, out there coaching the Rams and a Super Bowl champion, and he used to run that same exact offense when he was there. So it works. It's Denzel Washington. Remember the Titans. He's like Novocaine. Give it time. It always works, and it hasn't been changed in 40-plus years. And here's the thing, Kevin, they've been making the playoffs for 40-plus years. So it is a historically dominating program, and they're coming back, and it's something we've seen before. Semifinals in Memorial Stadium against Marist, and it's going to be another classic.
Coach Britt will join us when we come back. This is the attorney, Jonathan Dunn, post-game show here on Watch BC Sports.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Welcome back here on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. As you can see, the Cadets, a big-time winner there tonight, 80-32. And, Coach, I don't know all of the records, but 80's got to be up there in terms of points scored by a Benedictine offense.
Noel just said it was it's the record. It's the all-time record. I remember it. So very proud of the team for that. Yeah, very proud of that.
Coach, I know you're an intense guy, and hey, you kind of pride yourself on being physical. And I told Christian at halftime, I said, I know it's the playoffs, but you got to be excited that for 2 quarters, you put up 300 yards rushing on the ground in the first half and just beat the brakes off of them at the line of scrimmage. I know it's not the flash and sexy, but I feel like that's Coach Britt deep down inside. That's what you like to see.
I love it. No, we physically, we've physically been handling people And that's what we want to do. That's what we talk about. That's what we worked on. But yeah, physically we were mashing them. Really, I mean, offensively the whole game, even with the twos and threes.
And as I say, that good to sometimes you get the backups in, and it's well, that's why your backups. We got some things got to work on. Your second unit offense was still 7-8 yards of carry there at the late portion of the ball game.
Yeah, I think we knocked a couple of their main guys on defense out, and it affected them. And I get it, but no, I was proud of the number 2 offense came in and did really well, and we got to do a little better job with the 2 and 3 defense and stopping people.
I was going to say, Coach, a lot of people say it's 80-32. Why are you upset? But I know Chris and I said as soon as it happens, like, you will not be happy that you gave up 2 huge plays on defense. One where you had the guy wrapped up for a tackle and he slipped out and went 60 more yards.
Yeah, we got him as a freshman up there, and very, very talented player. I'm excited about him, but he came in and tried to do that shoulder thing, which you can't do. You can't do at at this level. And to his credit, he's almost always playing offensive scout team, so he's having so he hadn't got as much practice as some of the other guys. But we got to do a better job than that. Now I don't agree with Coach running reverse and onside kicking and all that when I've already called off the dogs, but I guess we'll live with that.
Well, Coach, we've said you get one to get one more, and you got one more. It's the semifinals, and we can tell you it's going to be Marist, so you probably already know. I guess we're working triple option this week to try to be gap responsible, but about as proud a tradition of program as you can have come across your slate here in the state of Georgia next week.
No doubt, and obviously, we played Marist once before here in the it was the quarterfinals, I think. Coach does an incredible job. Very proud program. They're going to play very hard for him. So we know it's going to be a major challenge.
For you, is this the kind of game you like? Because especially playing the way you just play, it's like we need that part too. It's physical next week from the word jump.
Yeah, no, we're going to – I like being physical, and I think we've been physical all year, and we're going to have to make sure we are that next Friday night.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Go Cadets.
Danny Britt joining us here on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. We'll let him hand it back over there to Christian, and we'll be here next Friday at home for Marist in the semifinals and physical football game. I think Coach looking forward to that a little bit. Obviously, he touched on some things we talked about. They're not happy with maybe running a reverse and some play action down 50, but it is what it is. But you're playing next week in the semifinals, and if you are anywhere close to Memorial Stadium, I mean, my goodness, it don't get much better than BC and Marist for a chance to go to the state championship.
No, a great crowd tonight post Thanksgiving, but next week there's no excuse. You got to be at Memorial Stadium for that one, because this Marist team is going to come in here and they're going to try to suck the life out of the stadium, because it's going to be 2 or 3 yards at a time. And then they're going to stand there for about 40 seconds, stare at the sideline, wait to go again. And they're going to run the clock, and you're going to look up after 10 minutes and the whole first quarter is basically going to be gone. BC, I mean, realistically, you're lucky to have 8 possessions in the football game. So you have to be here. You have to be loud, and you got to be cheering on the Cadets, because those guys really do feed off of that energy. And it doesn't get bigger in your home stadium than the semifinals, because everybody knows the road's to Atlanta for the state championship. So last chance to see the Cadets in Savannah coming up this coming Friday. Got to get out and show your support.
And after a performance like that, school record 80 points, probably over 500 yards rushing, Christian, at the end of the day, if you knew you're going to have to play physical next week, what a performance to have, just absolutely annihilating the line of scrimmage on both sides tonight heading into that game.
Yeah, a lot of folks were worried about the offense, and I think they answered a lot of questions tonight. And like you said, it started up front with those 5 guys who you had a guy moving from guard to center and a new guy coming to replace them. You kick your right tackle over to left tackle, and it's like nothing happened. They're just mauling folks up front. And then, like we said, defensively, it's been like that all season long. So line of scrimmage is where the football game is won, and BC dominated both sides.
So we get at least one more with Marist rolling in here to Savannah next week, which also means you get another Danny Britt show out at Bowtie Barbecue at noon on Thursday, and he'll certainly have a lot to talk about on this one, where you rack up 80 points. Everybody pretty much on the roster got to play, and school record number of points on the scoreboard, and now an all-time matchup in the semifinals, with obviously a chance to go to Mercedes-Benz and play for it all on the line.
Yeah, I mean, this is why these kids play football from the time they're 5-6 years old in the state of Georgia for a chance like this coming week is going to be. And it's not just Friday, it's Monday through Thursday where everybody in the state's going to be talking about you. Everybody in the city is going to be talking about you. You're going to be center of attention at school. It's just you work so hard for opportunities like this, and only 4 teams around the state and 4A are going to get that chance. And you got a chance then to go on to Mercedes-Benz, which is the spotlight for football in the state of Georgia, whether it's high school, college, or the NFL. It is the mecca for football all around the South. You got a chance to go play there after 4 more quarters next week.
For Christian Gokel, I'm Kevin Thomas. We'll see you next week right here for Marist at Memorial Stadium. Christian and Coach Thursday at high noon at Bowtie Barbecue. Thanks for being here with us, and we will see you next time on Watch BC Sports.